Hello everybody and welcome to another session of the Neverending Train. I am Kai, your DM for the day, and would everybody like to introduce themselves and their characters, starting with Cranky?
I am Cranky, and I will be playing Colin Blank, local tiny detective crow. Tiny crow detective. That's probably the more correct way of saying it. Anyway, Colin Blank, that's him.
I love him. Foster?
Hi, I'm Foster, and I will be playing Cacao, the black cat toon that also happens to run an art club.
Fantastic. And Respawn?
I'm here to play the role of Bubba Rizzo, a mafia-employed crocodile man of significant stature who is not sure of his allegiances these days because of his kid.
I love them all. This is going to be a great game, I can already tell. Especially as we have hit October, which means it's officially the month of Halloween, which means I can start doing some of my slightly creepier game plans that I have had locked up for fucking months.
I'm excited.
Alright, we're gonna start up with a little bit of catch-up because, Cranky, you said before that you have not played Colin in about a year, and it's been about a year since the first Neverending Train game, and it's been a while. How's he been?
He has been hopelessly lost this entire time. He has gone through a couple of carriages since last time, and I don't know if he's run into any. Has he run in? He probably hasn't really run into any passengers.
No. He wouldn't have come across any other passengers again. It would have been that first carriage and then, no one other than train denizens.
Yep. So he's been hopelessly lost, but he is continuously optimistic. So he's doing okay, I'd say.
I love him. All right. I'm going to need you to, as you are stepping through this next door, you're not quite sure how long you've been on the train at this point. It could have been a couple of days. It could have been, months. It's one of those weird time things where nothing quite feels real in this strange dreamscape train thing. But yeah, as you step through this next door and you come out the other side, I'm going to actually need you to make a quick perception check.
Okay. D20.
Always a fun way to start off a game.
+2. Okay. Give me a second.
Not a problem.
Yes, then.
That's a 22 from a nat 20. Fuck yeah. Okay. I will actually... I'm going to get back to you on that one because I want to... because I actually want to see what the other person who arrives with you sees. Because we do have Bubba, who has been on the train for maybe 2-3 carriages at this point in time. You don't necessarily know that it's a train, you just know that there are strange rooms and there are doors and you solve a problem and then go through the door and then you're in another strange room. And as you step through this next door, again, may you please make a perception check for me?
Alright. Still getting used to the sheet. Perception's +4.
And that's a 14. Okay, so that's not bad. Cacao, I will get to you last as you are the new arrival, so I'll come back to you later. For now, let's deal with this 14 and this 22. As you two step through the door, you do actually know you have got high enough perception there that you notice that you've both stepped through it, you've come out the other side together, so there is somebody else there. You also get about half a second's worth of looking around before you are blinded by this absolutely beatingly bright green light coming down from the sky. You are beaten down by the heat that is coming from this. And yeah, it is too bright for you guys to actually be able to see anything and your eyes are aching because of it. However, in that half second, you do get a little bit of a look around. Bubba, what you see is a suburban street. It's just a single street lined by houses on either side. The houses all look more or less identical. And then it's just like at the very end of the street, it winds up in a cul-de-sac, and there's a house kind of facing you from the door that you stepped out of. And that's about it. You just notice it's a really empty suburban street. There's no cars, there's no people, there doesn't seem to be much in the way of movement. It's nothing. And now you're blind. Colin, you see that suburban street and everything I just described. You also notice something else a little bit peculiar, in that each of like the identical houses' front gardens, the soil is all ripped up, turned up, churned, and bare. So the gardens no longer have like any flowers or plants or anything in them. It's just a row of houses with identically ripped up gardens out the front. You also, again, don't notice anything in the way of movement, but you do manage to, like, with that nat 20, I'm gonna say you managed to memorize the layout of this street within that quick glance before you were also blinded. Again, you were aware, both of you are aware that there was someone else there next to you. What do you do now?
So first of all, Colin is going to pull his hat over his eyes.
Probably a good idea. Your eyes no longer hurt quite so bad.
Still can't see a thing, but, you know. And Colin is going to cheerily greet the other two. Is like, hello! Oh, are you a passenger?
Bubba, being blinded as well, is going to take a moment to try to consider his surroundings. Am I being attacked? No, doesn't seem like it. Am I in any apparent danger? No. Am I still here? He's going to take a moment to like pat himself down. He'll hear the rustling of like his suit and such. Like, all right, that's still there. He's going to like wave his hand in front of his eyes, you know, across his snout. Nope, that's not working. And then he'll respond. I'm a little blind here. Can you see?
Nope. Follow me. And he just grabs his arm and like marches up ahead.
You're just marching down the street?
Bubba, a little awkwardly, is like hunched over as he's being pulled by something smaller than him down the way.
Significantly smaller.
Okay. Can I just ask, how tall is Bubba?
Bubba is 7'4".
It's like a Larry and an extra head. Colin, can you even reach Bubba's hand?
I don't think he can.
Bubba feels someone tugging on one of his nice pant legs, and he's like, "Oh, that way, got it."
Okay, that's amazing. So thankfully you do actually have a bit of a guide. Colin, thankfully you kind of know more or less how this train works, and you know that you're on a train with how long you've been here. So cool, You're just marching down the street. Are you going to continue talking, or are you just looking to get somewhere safe, or?
He is marching towards that house in the middle of the cul-de-sac, I suppose, and he's gonna once he gets there, he's gonna check the door, but like till then, he's like,
yeah.
So, give me a second. I know he's gonna be chattering about something, but I need to think of what.
That's okay.
Like, it's been so long since I've seen someone else who isn't, living on this train.
So, blindness and such normal around here? I'm still getting used to things.
Well, sometimes, apparently.
Right.
It's fine.
You been here long?
Yep. Blah blah words. Give me a second.
It's okay. I will say, if you need to ask about extra information of like what you would or wouldn't know about the train, feel free to ask me, because again, you've been through a few carriages, you will know a fair chunk.
Yeah. But yeah, Colin is marching this giant crocodile along.
Amazing. are either of you taking any care to, creep quietly, or you say you're just marching? Are either of you trying to do quiet steps, or?
Colin is marching.
Okay.
But also he's very small.
Bubba is taking small, careful steps so as not to accidentally hurt the thing that is pulling him along.
Okay, in that case, I will have at least Bubba roll stealth, please. Colin, no,
Alright.
sorry.
Do not apologize. This rogue.
This is great.
rogue
That's a
is not doing
25?
stealth.
What the fuck?
I've got a good dex score.
Yeah. And you rolled a 19, so that's ridiculous. Okay, so Bubba, you are basically silent as you're walking on, despite your little small shuffly steps as Colin drags you along by the pant leg. You are basically silent. Colin, however, being right in front of you, does kind of counteract that. And as you are marching down the street, you've probably only gotten to around the second or third house down, pair of houses down the street so far. You're still a fair way away from the one on the end of the cul-de-sac. And I'm gonna get you guys to just please roll me a perception check, and I'm really hoping Colin rolls low just because that would be a fucking delight. I love Colin. I don't want...
Would it be disadvantage?
No, because
Since they're
this isn't a sight-based perception
Okay.
check, so don't worry.
Okay, so
That
+2, 6.
so that's 6. Thank you for rolling low, exactly as I wished. All right, Bubba, you are, as you are being careful to be quiet and you're not needing to worry too much about where you're going because you've got this small thing dragging you along. You do actually get a chance to kind of listen in between the babble, and you hear a little bit of a strange rattling sound coming in the distance, and I'm just going to get up close to my mic and see if it picks this up, but... You hear a sound like that kind of coming, and as you are listening, you also hear the sound of, I'm not sure that's quite picking up, but something dragging itself along the ground. Do you want to do or say anything? Colin, you are completely oblivious to this, but...
I'm gonna carefully reach down. I'm gonna try and find this little feller's head. I'm gonna gently grab it and just be like, "Hold on a sec. We're not alone.
What?
There's something out here."
Can Colin hear that at this point, since it's been pointed out?
Yeah, I'm going to say that you just about managed to grab it. You don't hear the dragging noises, but you can hear, the rattle clicking.
Well, that sure is a funny sound.
I ain't sure if funny is the words I'd use for it.
Well, maybe we can hide in one of these houses? That's what I was planning. Get out of the sun, get away from the noise. Good plan.
Sounds as good an idea as any. Just take it careful.
Oh, yeah.
As this is going on, and as you two are actually planning to, hopefully head for the nearest house, we are going to quickly jump tracks, and we are going to go say hi to Cacao, who is lying on his back in a dark, box in, very close confines, and you can feel the box moving, but yeah, he's trapped in a dark box. How are you feeling?
At first, he has a hard time figuring out because he kind of just wakes up, so he has his hand moving about, trying to figure out the space that he's in, and as he realizes the position that he's in, the hand movements get faster and much more panicked, and at some point You know when you're bringing your cat to the vet and you put them in the box and they start screaming as if their life were depending on it? That's what's happening. They are meowing for their life.
Fucking astounding. Yes, good. Okay, oh dear. Are you saying anything in particular, or are you just screaming in general?
Straight up meowing, desperate meowing.
Alright. So obviously you're not in a good place. I will ask, what was the last thing that you actually remember before, winding up in this dark box?
Well, right before that, he had just finished a recent task that had taken him a fair bit of time, and he had let his mind wander, and he was kind of reminiscing how he was worrying about his relative, because one of his relatives, he learned earlier that day, had injured themselves, and even though the injury wasn't deadly in any shape or form, they still felt very guilty because they are living in a different city and they feel like, oh, I should have been there to help them. And that's when somehow a door appeared and they felt somehow compelled to walk to the door.
Fantastic. And now you're in a dark box, which is always a great way to start off things. Jumping back to Colin and Bubba, as you are talking about going to get into a house and being scared of that weird rattling, you start to also hear a slight whoop, 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 and you can't see it because, again, you two are blinded. But you can definitely hear what seems to be a screaming cat. Slightly muffled by the box, of course. Who wants to do what?
Colin. Oh my god, Colin's still aloft in the air, isn't he? Colin's gonna wiggle his.
I didn't pick you up. I just put my hand on your head.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Okay. I just had the mental image of
I mean, maybe I did consider it, but I ain't done it yet.
Okay. Colin was like, someone's in danger. So yeah, Colin is very he hears someone in danger, he's gotta go help. So he's gonna make a beeline for the yelling cat.
Fantastic. Okay. You can make a beeline for the yelling cat pretty easily because you can easily hear where it's coming from, and I'm going to be pretty lenient about you guys being able to hear what's going on and what's where, because again, you're blind. I don't want you to go crashing into things too much. So yeah, you can hear this screaming cat. Bubba, again, I'm going off the perception check you had from earlier. You can hear the whole and the scraping sounds getting closer and louder, and now that you kind of think about it, they seem to be coming from more than one direction. But yeah, Colin, you walk into a box.
I'm gonna try and go after the little fella.
Yeah, are you following the screaming as well?
Yeah, I suppose that seems like the direction he went. So I'm just trying to find him again. He was willing to stick his neck out for me, if only a little. So I might as well do the same.
Fair enough. All right. Roll me a dex save at disadvantage, please.
All right.
I just want to see if you step on Colin, basically.
No, that's fair. I'm pretty good at these, but I'm still going to be very set.
Save?
Yeah, Colin, do a dex save as well, just to see if you manage to dodge it. That's a 9 from Bubba.
9.
Roll. You're at disadvantage, Cranky. Colin.
Okay, yeah. The 20 plus.
That's okay, so all right, with that 9 from Bubba and that 12 from Colin, with the 9, you, Bubba, you also walk into the box. You're pretty sure you also trod on one of Colin's feet. Colin, you did not actually get any damage as it only nicked the little edge of your toe, but ow, that hurt, excuse you.
Yeah. he yelps a little and, whirls around and hey!
Bubba's gonna do it. Not like a big jump, but just like a little, like flinch upwards. Like, oh, sorry there.
Cacao, good news. You can just about hear.
Give me a second. Colin is just gonna yell like, "Hello." Yes.
Cacao, you can hear this. You heard like two different bumps and then like a yelp and someone yelling hello. Do you want to do anything, or are you just going to keep screaming?
No, this sound is very different from, I mean, the few moments that he has been in this box, so it kind of catches his attention, and he figures, oh no, if someone listens to this, it's going to be extremely embarrassing. So it kind of cuts out immediately.
Bubba, Colin, the screaming has stopped.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's a little unnerving.
I'm gonna
Are
let
you still alive?
Do I pick up on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you three to do whatever conversation you need to hear. Just assume you can all hear each other.
Okay, then I'm going to be asking, is anyone around here? Cause I'm in a box and I would really appreciate some assistance right here, right now.
I could probably get you out of the box.
What? Can't you just walk to it or unearth it? Cause I have no clear idea of what my situation is, but I would really.
Sorry, continue.
No, that's fine.
I was just gonna interrupt that. Since we're in a box, how's our visibility? Are we still blinded?
You're not actually in the box. When I say you walked into the box, I meant you bumped into it. This is
okay, good, because I was like, huh.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Like, it's technically Cacao, none of you can see anything, but for Cacao it's for a completely different reason, in that everything's black. But no, it's basically you're still standing in the middle of the street.
Okay.
It's just there's this kind of there's this small rectangular box that is kind of hovering in midair at around, like, the bottom of it is about beak height for you, Colin.
Okay.
So that's just hovering there, and there is a cat in the box.
I'll reach
excuse
for the
me,
box,
mister.
I think.
Oh yeah, Colin was just about to ask him to maybe pick it up so they can get inside. not inside the box, inside the house, but yeah.
I think I got the idea.
Yes.
Bubba's
Yep.
gonna reach out and he's gonna, based on sound alone, try to figure out where this box is and grab it.
All right, yeah, because you bumped into it, you're fairly certain where it is. And again, like, you can feel the bottom of it hovering off the ground. As you place your hand on the top, however, which is like probably around like for you, like about like midriff height. So you place your hand on it, and you can hear this shunk, dunk, and Cacao, you fall on your back in the street. It does not. You do not take any damage, but it can't have been nice.
Yeah.
Did you
There is
hear
like a small yelp, because again, like, he does not expect the floor to give way under him, but he also has like this moment of relief. Oh, where I'm out.
Oh man, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt your eyes so bad.
Oh yeah,
though.
no, I was about to
Yeah.
say, you don't even get that split second of managing to see what's going around, because you've just come from pitch black box to way too light, too bright street, and I would like to remind you again, it's sweltering hot for all three of you guys. It's not anything that's gonna do anything detrimental, but it's not comfortable for you guys to be in.
Okay.
Cacao, you are instantly blinded. Congratulations, join the blind crew.
Ow! What's that all about? And wait, I can't see anything. Is there really anyone around here, or am I just hearing voices?
Colin slaps approximately where Cacao is. Follow me. And
Follow? Who is me?
That one.
Me is Colin.
Okay, nice to meet you, I guess, Colin. I'm extremely confused.
Entirely fair. Bubba, because you still had your hand on the box, you actually feel it as it starts like rising up and going above your head and vanishes off into the air. But like, yeah, none of you see it. You just hear this gentle whoop, 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 as it fades off. The box is gone. You're all in the street, and that clicking noise is getting closer.
Hey, so that box,
Let's-
he was... There, you wouldn't believe me anyways. Box is
I mean,
gone.
I walked into a door and ended up in a box. My mind
Let's
is
march
open.
onwards.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Onwards. And Colin can Colin like backtrack to where he was? Anyway, would Colin know what direction to go in?
I'm gonna say yes, just because I want at least one of you to not be hopelessly and perpetually lost.
Okay. For
Okay,
once,
so-
Colin is not the one who is lost.
Yes.
Since Colin is dragging along, we do have this mental image of a cat, a small detective crow, and then a giant crocodile all sitting along the street.
Yes, perfect.
And also, like, I'm assuming, like, Colin is still, like, dragging, like, Bubba's pant leg.
Yes.
So, I don't know if he has enough, if he's, like, big enough to also drag Cacao.
Oh, I mean, like, if the other two were kind of just going along with it and following you, I reckon you'll be good, but also it depends on
Yes.
how much fight they put up.
He's not straight up dragging, he's more like pulling.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, Colin, you managed to actually go to the side. Like you managed to orient yourself well enough that you managed to find your way to one of the houses, and like, do you need help opening the door? Considering how short you are, and these houses are probably made for people a bit taller than you.
Can he try jumping up to the door first?
Yes. Can I get a dexterity check to see if you managed to grab the doorknob? That's 40. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. You do manage
He's a
to.
bird.
Yeah.
He's a bird.
Also, probably like because you're so short, you're used to like in real life doors being made for like human size, and they're yeah.
And like he's also small by like he's just small in general.
Yeah. He is a delight. All right, you manage to open the door. You find it is completely unlocked, but you get inside the house. And good news, the moment that you guys step inside the house, it is now, like, it feels, you've gone from everything is far too bright and too hot, and everything feels a lot cooler now. Colin, you had your hat over your eyes, so you still can't see. But Bubba and Cacao, as you step inside, you just like this blissful, cool darkness that isn't too dark. And as your eyes adjust, you two can see again.
Okay, so can
Bubba's gonna-
someone fill me in? Because door, box, blinding light. What's the gist?
We're on a train.
Bubba's gonna rub his eyes for a bit.
A
Valid.
train.
Yep.
And you have like this kind of like Cacao has been through so much in such a short time that he all kind of believes it, but also a train. Come on, a train with like blinding hot light and a house.
I almost drowned once on one of these carriages.
Wait, hold on, what?
Colin elects now to pull his hat off finally. Well, not off, but like
Up.
being able to actually see.
Yep. Colin, you can also see. Question, did anyone shut the door behind you guys?
I was about to do that. Actually.
Okay, yep. I will say, you get the tiniest glimpse outside as you turn around to close the door. Like, looking outside, it's still way too bright. It's hurting your eyes as you look there. But again, you get that split second of vision before everything's too bright and before you shut the door in defense. And you see something really strange and not very encouraging. And that is a bunch of weird plant-like creatures walking down the street, heading towards where you guys had just been making a bunch of noise before. And they're dragging themselves along on these 3 thick leg-like roots. and you can see like there's a little twinge of movement on these tall stems. When I say these tall, these things are sitting at about like 7 feet tall. And you can see this twitch of movement of little sticks banging against the stem, and that's what's making the whole noise. And you get to see that for all of a split second, as there is at least 10 of these strange plant creatures converging in the center of the street before the door slams shut.
Well, good news is there's usually only forwards on this thing. I don't think we want to go backwards.
Well, what's
What
backwards?
did you? Yeah, what did you see?
Nothing friendly.
Okay, so I'm on a quote-unquote train, and there are dangers about. What? And he's still like terribly confused.
Well,
So what's the plan? Because now we are in a house, and apparently there is hostile entities outside. So what do we do now?
I mean-
usually there's a problem and we fix it. Or something like that. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the problem, I would say, is currently crawling outside, but I'm not sure I'm very keen on fixing it right now.
Can Colin perceive the house?
Absolutely, yeah. Roll perception. The rest of you can as well if you want to take a quick look around.
Sure, why not?
Okay,
Colin
that
is perceiving so well today.
Alright, it's a 19 from Colin. A 7 from Bubba.
Still getting my eyesight back, apparently.
Shouldn't have looked out the door. And that is a
No.
2 from Cacao. Okay.
The confusion still lingers.
Yeah, Cacao, you're too confused about everything that's going on to bother to really take a look around. You see nothing, you just know you're in a house, and thankfully you can see again. Bubba, you get a little bit more of a look around, but your eyes are still watering from staring out through that doorway. You just gonna, like, the house is kind of cooler and darker. You notice that, like, part of the reason it's dark is that the blinds seem to be closed. That's all you really take in. Colin, with that 19, you get a really good look around their house, and you are well and truly living up to your name of investigator at the moment.
At the moment.
At the moment. Alright, you notice that, like, this house is... There's this feel you get in places that are abandoned, and it's different from the feel that you get in places that just straight up were never really lived in. And this place feels a lot more like the latter. It's set up for people to live here. There is furniture, there's like photo frames on the wall that don't actually have anything in them. There's this pristine, beautifully painted, amazing house that looks like it's straight out of like a model home, and no one's ever actually lived here. There's no crumbs on the sofa, there's no footprints in the hall. It's just perfect, and it's uncanny in that perfectness. You also notice that, again, the blinds are closed, and that's why it is dark enough for you guys to get a proper look around. But yeah, you are in an empty and pristine home about halfway down the street that you first arrived on. Do you want to do anything?
Colin is going to pace around while he thinks.
Okay, in the meantime, while the confusion, again, like, Cacao is still very distressed, he will still introduce himself and say, oh, by the way, forgive me for my lack of manners, but I'm Cacao. I'm supposed to run an art club, but now I'm in some weird green reality.
I am... Colin like does like another like pace back and forth and stops in front of Cacao and like brings his little arm wing out for a handshake, like, Colin Blank, investigator.
Pleasure to meet you.
Colin also, like, after the handshake, brings his other arm, probably crosses it over and reaches it over to Bubba.
Bubba will just kind of crouch down a bit and put a finger in Colin's hand. Just like, Bubba Rizzo. I prefer to keep my profession to myself.
Pleasure to meet you.
Right.
Pleasure to meet you too.
I love all three of you. Please know you just have the cutest characters. It's so good.
Bubba may or may not be having strange feelings, considering that this Colin fella is about the same size as his son, who is like 10 or
Oh.
less. No, maybe like 7
Aw.
now.
Colin is a very small adult.
Hmm.
Okay, Colin's back to pacing. So, what do we have? We have terribly bright light, lots of houses, people who are really bad at gardening, and I've stated the houses before, but they're empty. Well, at least this one's empty.
You think they got a working tap? I could use some water after all the heat.
I don't know.
Did you want to explore the house and see if you can find out?
Bubba will keep in earshot, but he'll go look for like a sink or a bucket of water or something.
Yeah, you head down the hallway a little bit. You notice through one door seems to be the living room, and through another door that's the dining room. And connecting onto the dining room is actually a little kitchen, and yes, there is a sink.
And go see if the sink
Colin-
works.
It does not. You turn it on and no water comes out. You open up the cupboards to maybe find a glass or something, and there is nothing in the cupboards. They are completely empty.
Bubba's gonna start with a heh, and then he's gonna notice Colin out the corner of the gun and be like, dang.
Oh, I love
I'm
this.
going to die. That's so sweet.
Cacao is probably going to comment on the interior design and say that, yeah, sure, the furniture looks fine, but if there is nothing in it, what's the point?
I mean, it doesn't look like anyone's been living here, ever.
Yeah, seems kind of deserted. No water.
I mean, I would have deserted with the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Colin is... Oh, what was that?
Keep going. It's cool. It's nothing.
It's nothing. Okay, so there's the entrance, there's the living room, there's the kitchen. Are there any like upper, lower floors?
Yep, there's some stairs at the end of the hallway that lead upstairs.
Colin wants to go upstairs.
Absolutely. You head up and there's like a little bit of a living room. Then there's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
Colin is gonna... Okay. Oh, yeah, no. Colin's gonna march up to one of the bedrooms. Because, he is not very considerate of making sure people know where he is.
Did anyone bother to keep an eye on Colin, or has the bird just vanished?
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going to Cacao is going to try to keep up. He's a bit surprised by the sudden movement of this little lovely bird, but he's still trying to keep up, and he will actually point out as the bird goes upstairs that, given the current situation, I would advise that we stick together instead of spreading out.
Actually, I guess that does, like, make Colin, like, stop and, like, turn on his heel and, like, excellent idea. and he's gonna march back down the way he came.
Amazing. I do have a quick question. Bubba, have you told anyone about, like, what you saw outside other than, yeah, there looks to be something dangerous?
Bubba has not.
All right.
Bubba did not want to scare anyone.
Entirely fair. All right, you have this pristine home, and you know it's dangerous outside. I will say, like, another thing, like, the home does seem to be a little bit eerie, because, again, all the blinds are shut, and there's this slightly green light seeping through underneath that just seems way too bright, and that's the only thing that's providing any lighting in this place at the moment, so, some fun shadows being cast.
Oh, no.
Oh. So if we are in this, so Cacao is going to follow Colin in the bedroom and maybe try to do another like perception in the room to kind of figure out if there is like anything different or not.
Yeah, sure thing.
Colin is also gonna perceive.
Oh, this cat is not aware of his surroundings.
There goes Colin's perception.
Oh, yeah, you were on such a roll before, pun intended. And, alright, with that 10, Cacao, you get a look around, and the bedroom that Colin has walked into does seem to be the master bedroom, as there's this, like, rather large double bed, there's, like, the wardrobe in the corner, there's, like, bedside tables with a lamp on them. I will tell you right now, the lamp will not work. With that 10, because I feel like I need to give you something, you do notice, like, the first bit in this house that doesn't seem to be absolutely perfect, and it is that on the wooden floor, just beneath the bed, there seems to be a couple of scrape marks in the wood.
Oh. Yeah, Cacao is...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Cacao is going to, like, gently pat over Colin to not startle him, because like this is already kind of an eerie setting, and calmly point out at the marks without like saying anything.
Colin is going to pitter-patter over there and pull out a oh, that's lovely.
Ignore me when I'm rolling dice unless I say something. Just okay, go, it's cool.
Okay. He's gonna pull out a magnifying glass. It doesn't actually do anything for his perception or anything, he just has a magnifying glass.
Props are important.
Yes.
And look at the marks on the floor. That would be investigation?
Yes, it would.
20... Straight D20.
Yeah. Blame like the -3 you've got to your intelligence, and that's still a 19. God. Okay. All right. With that 19, you get a good look at these marks. They don't look like nail marks or like anything scratched into it. It looks more like a slightly heavy object that was not made of any sort of soft material. Was kind of placed on the floor and then shoved under or pulled out of from under the bed. It does like maybe some sort of box or like some sort of like heavier item. I will let you continue that investigation. As you kind of watch under the scrape marks, you notice that there isn't anything under the bed. Everything is still pristine. However, you do get this feeling that there should be something there, but things aren't quite adding up yet. It's kind of this feels like there should be a weight in the air tucked under the bed, but there isn't actually anything there.
Colin's gonna climb under the bed.
Cool, you are underneath the bed. That's all that happens. I'm a good place to hide.
Yeah.
Bubba has finally arrived, having taken a while to get up the stairs and get bored looking around downstairs. He walks in the room, sees the cat, is just like, where'd the bird go?
Colin climbs out from under the bed. He's probably a little dustier than he was previously.
I think for this, normally I would say again, this place is entirely pristine. There should be no dust. You crawl out from under the bed, you're covered in dust anyway.
It's the rule of funny.
Exactly.
Colin states that, well, there's something missing here.
Okay.
Something like
missing.
a box.
A box. Well, I mean, it's not like we have many other options than explore the house a bit more, so maybe we can figure out where this went.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a window smash downstairs.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back. Bubba's gonna go down the stairs real quick and go try to figure out what that is before anyone has to find out.
Alright, as you go downstairs, you only get like halfway down the stairs before you can already easily spot what made this noise. And it was, yes, indeed, a window smashing inwards. And you can see, like, is shadows cast upon the blinds that are, like, the curtains that are actually still in place over the window. And you can see the shape of these tall, strange plant things that you spotted before. And as you watch, tendrils seem to be lashing out from near the tops of the plants, and they are crashing into the curtain and making the curtain wobble out of shape and letting in sparks of light. So it's not enough light that it again blinds you or even does any damage, but you can see they're starting to tear down those curtains. The curtains are already looking like they're starting to get a little bit shredded, and again that loud clicking rattling is gotten very loud and very, very close.
That ain't good.
Okay, Cacao isn't like completely following Bubba, but he's kind of like walked out the bedroom and asking, "How's things going down there?"
I'd say not good. The stuff out there is trying to come in.
Oh, and he's going to. Would Colin hear that? I mean,
yes. All three of you would have heard the window smashing. If you're asking if Colin heard what you're saying, yeah, I'm gonna say
Colin would have followed.
Yeah, no,
okay,
definitely heard of them.
Yeah, Cacao is going to turn to Colin and just say, "Okay, we need to get down."
Shall we make a barricade? That sounds like a good idea right about now.
Yeah,
Don't
maybe
sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, then Cacao is going to walk a bit back and try to secure the master bedroom. Is there anything that he could possibly move?
Alright, you're trying to secure yourself in the master bedroom, or are you just trying to block the downstairs window?
At least the window of the master bedroom.
Okay, well the good news is, because the window of the master bedroom is upstairs, the plants are only actually are only downstairs, they're only on the ground floor. They're not in the house yet, so the master bedroom window is safe.
Oh, okay, I thought they were getting in the house already.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bubba's gonna, there's a living room, right? It's got furniture.
Yeah. There's couches, there's little like coffee table, things like that.
How many? And how many windows?
Okay, there's 2 windows in the living room, there's 2 windows in the dining room, 1 window in the kitchen, 1 window in the study that's like at the back of the living room that connects to that. And then there's the upstairs. So if you're just doing living room for now, or do you want to do everywhere?
We'll go 1 room at a time. They're trying to get in through the living room at the moment?
Yeah.
So that's 2 windows. What furniture's in here?
Okay, you've got a couch, a coffee table, an armchair, like another little table. You've got like a rather large radio, like a box radio sort of thing that is large enough you could use it. And you've got a bookshelf in the corner.
Does the radio work?
No.
Good to know. Well, I guess the coffee table and the couch are the best bets for now. I'm going to try and move the couch in front of one of the windows just to block it up. Put it on end if I need to.
Absolutely. Can I get you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, when you get near the window?
Fair enough. I mean, I am pretty good at those.
Yep, so you might actually be okay.
I might.
That's an 18.
Hey.
All right, you manage to, like, as you get close to the window, and like your footsteps can be heard by the plants, because these things can hear you. One of these weird tendrils lashes out lightning fast, and you only just manage to dodge it as it whips past your ear. And you can hear it. You know the whip crack sound? It makes one of those right next to your ear, and you can feel a blob of some sort of sap or oil or venom drip off the tendril as it hits next to you and it lands on your shoulder. It doesn't do any damage or anything because you have clothes on, but it definitely doesn't smell nice.
Oh no.
Once I'm done moving the couch into position, blocking out that window, I am gonna give it a little touch with one finger.
Okay, one moment. Let's just check what dice I need to roll here.
Gotta find out what it is.
I think at this point, especially with the noise, Cacao is downstairs, and after whatever roll we go, he's going to use the coffee table to block the door, actually.
Probably a good idea. Good news is you do not need to dodge any tendrils as you go near the door because they haven't made it through the door yet. Because it was only a very small drop, Bubba, please take 5 poison damage.
Fair enough.
No.
So
It's not like that.
I'm at 43 current HP then.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry.
I will. Yeah.
For now.
Not too bad. For now.
Colin is gonna pull out his crossbow by now, I think.
Probably a good idea. I will say again, Bubba, do you tell anyone about this weird sap stuff?
I suppose while I'm busy moving the armchair up to the other window, I will let the others know. So, because it ain't exactly worth hiding at this point, there's some sort of weird plants out there. Don't let them or their sap touch you. It burns.
Oh, grand. Blinding light and deadly plants. Okay.
Oh, so they do gardening.
I think the gardening did them.
Perfect. Okay, so you're barricading the lower windows and the door. Good news is you do manage to kind of get the couch propped up against the window that was broken. It doesn't cover it entirely, but it does get most of it. And like while there is still the occasional tendril trying to whip through and gets through the sides, it's blocked most of it and is now kind of safe-ish to go near that broken window. Again, though, you can still hear like all the rattling coming from outside, and you can kind of, all three of you can tell from the noise there is a lot of them out there, and there seems to be more and more coming as you try and blockade yourselves in here.
So first of all, while Bubba and Cacao are doing the barricading, Colin is just going to be marching back and forth with his crossbow because he's too small to do anything.
Oh.
And second of all, Colin, while he's marching back and forth, Colin is going to do some thinking, and some thinking is he is going to ask Bubba to I don't think there's any spoons around here, is there?
No, the kitchen drawers are all empty.
Okay, Colin's just gonna grab his own dagger and ask Bubba to kneel a little.
All right.
Can I get that goop?
Sure.
Colin's gonna like scrape what he can off his shoulder.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Even like kneeling down, like the way I imagine this playing out is, Bubba kneels down to try and let you get it. You're probably not gonna be able to reach it. And after a moment or two with this, sorry.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, but I just had the mental image of like Colin just like climbing up Bubba's back.
That works too.
Oh, that's so good.
Fair enough.
All right, Colin, you scrape the sap off Bubba's shoulder. What do you do with it?
He's gonna try to set it on fire with his tinderbox.
Okay. You set it on fire. It doesn't burn instantly. It's not like the sap itself is super flammable, but as the fire gets close to it, you notice it kind of changing color from like this thick pink goop, like cough syrup. It's kind of got the consistency of that, and it's pink and foul. As the fire comes close and the sap starts to bubble and boil, however, it does go clear.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not. You've got to figure it out for yourself. I can't go giving you
No,
this.
I know.
Yeah,
Colin's
yeah,
just stating it.
Okay, so we have some heat reactive sap thing that is apparently also poisonous. What is the situation of the other windows? And he's going to ask like the other to point out like, okay, we have those blocked out. Maybe we should worry about those.
Good news is, no other windows have smashed yet, although, however, you can see shadows moving in front of them.
But the living room's windows are now not boarded, but one's got a couch and one's got an armchair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the next room.
Alright, next room. There's one window in this. What are you going, study or dining room?
Let's go with the dining room.
Yep, dining room's got another 2 windows. Good news is it has a nice big dining room table and 6 chairs.
Is the dining room table big enough that it could cover both windows?
Only one window. The windows are too far apart. Like, one's on like the front wall, one's on the side wall, so corner in the way.
Dang. Well, I'll go ahead and get the easy work done and get the dining table up against one of those windows real quick.
Good idea. Alright, yes, you've got that one window blocked. You are being very lucky with these rolls at the moment, and there have not been any yet more smashing windows so far.
Thank goodness for that.
Okay, at this point, because Cacao would have picked up on the fact that poor Colin can't do much, he's going to turn to him and say, okay, little friend, can you help me figure out how to barricade this other one? Because I'm not sure the chairs stacked onto each other is going to do it.
Colin is thinking hard.
I will say, you guys can pull, like, mundane objects out of your hammer space as well. Like, I'm not going to say, oh yes, you've got a bunch of boards and planks and such in your hammer space, but you could reasonably pull out a hammer and nails.
Okay. I mean, Colin's gonna try that. I don't. Oh my gosh.
You roll a d10 to.
Yeah, I cannot believe I have not used hammer space rules in a single game.
Yeah. What did? Oh yeah, I gave you paints, didn't I?
That's a 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
4 means you managed to successfully get the item that you wanted.
Okay, so hammer and nails, or those 2 different items?
I'm gonna say they come together as a pair.
Okay.
Bubba's gonna be a bit confused by the little man who apparently carries around a hammer and nails. Like, he's been in the Mafia, he's seen people carry around a lot of odd objects to hurt people with. But a little bird man with a hammer and nails is a little weird.
Is it?
He ain't gonna say anything. He ain't gonna say anything, but it's a little weird.
Your tunes. Okay, but yeah, you've got a hammer and nails, which might be helpful in terms of, the dining room chairs and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do we...
I'm wondering if it would be possible at all
I'm wondering that
to
too.
try to pull a floorboard or something off.
Just roll me a strength check.
Okay, that's why is Why does Colin have +3 strength?
I don't know. Your Colin's stats are so fucking balked, and that's a nat 20 +3. Okay. I would just like to... I'm going to do this from the point of view of Cacao and Bubba. You two have been going around, stacking up furniture, trying with all your might to make sure that these things are blocked, and, like, you can manage it without too much effort because you're both decently strong. But, like, you've also got, like, this little small bird person who has been pacing around desperately trying to figure out what's going on, lighting things on fire, and all that, and, like, otherwise obviously has not been able to help. As Bubba and Cacao are picking up the next heavy item to put in front of the window, you just watch this bird lean down, somehow grab the edges of a floorboard with his feather fingers, and just and the floorboard comes out just super duper easily.
Bubba is now a bit more concerned.
Cacao is going to do these things in cartoon where, like, the character completely freezes in complete disbelief.
Oh no, I just realized that hammering is gonna make so much noise, but Colin doesn't care.
It is, in fact. You just made a bunch of... God damn you with these rolls, what the fuck? Keep going. You're making plenty of noise, but there is not yet another window smashing. I will say, though, by this point, basically all of the windows on the front and sides of the house have been... So, like, everything in the dining room and the living room, you can see the shadows of those strange plant creatures, like, on the outside through the blinds and everything.
Well, I guess Colin's just gonna hammer the floorboard across the window.
Yeah.
Since he apparently pulled it out.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You can effectively hammer something. The window does not break, thankfully. I will say, has anyone gotten close to, like, the front living room window yet? That's the one that, like, the sofa was put in front of.
I think we've all been in the dining room, so I think
Yeah,
we're good.
sorry, you're safe. Yeah, there's nothing else going on then. Yeah, well done. You hammer a board across the window, Colin.
So that's the dining room taken care of, right?
I want to think that because Colin likely isn't able to go all the way up to hammer those boards, like, Cacao picks him up to allow him to hammer the boards at the correct
Yes.
height.
Good, perfect. All right.
Because at this point he's just extremely impressed by the feat that this little bird has been able to pull off since the beginning.
God. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Still losing it.
Are you okay there?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. All right. So yeah, you have now managed to successfully barricade all the windows and the front door, in the living room and the dining room. You still, on the lower floor, you still have the study, which is attached to the living room, and the kitchen, which is attached to the dining room left.
Cacao is going to turn to Bubba and say that, okay, since we are on timer, maybe it's better if each of us takes another room.
All right, I will say, Bubba, seeing as you actually went and explored the kitchen before, there was a back door in there.
Bubba will make his way to the kitchen in a second, but first he kind of wants to look at where that floorboard was. Just stare at it for a moment, think about life, then go to the kitchen.
I hope this... Oh my gosh, I hope those plants can't climb under the house or something, because if so, Colin has done a big stupid.
Okay, so I think that Cacao in this case is going to go to the study and try to figure out what he can use to block the window.
Okay.
Colin is gonna follow Cacao because it seems that Cacao's more in need of is gonna be more in need of backup in case of emergency.
Oh, poor Cacao. All right, yeah, so you get to the study, you've got a desk in there, you've got another bookshelf, and you've got like a rather plush chair right next to the desk.
Colin, also, I'm gonna have Colin roll perception just because, since again he's small, and well, okay, so he can do something, by which I mean tearing out a floorboard apparently, but I just want him to roll perception.
No, it's always a good idea. Like, you guys are welcome to roll perception at any point. I won't always prompt you, and that's a dirty 20. What the fuck, Colin?
The investigator strikes again.
Alright. Yeah, you have a look around, and again, this place does seem pristine. However, you notice that, again, there's some odd marks on top of the wooden desk, something that looks like it's kind of... Someone has placed or moved something around on top of the desk that doesn't and hasn't really cared about the wood beneath. There's no item or like weird feeling on top of it there, though. It just looks like someone was actually maybe using this desk at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
Okay. Well, I mean, in this case, Cacao is probably going to take the bookshelf because that's the biggest thing, and try to put it at least in front of the window.
Absolutely.
Bubba will help.
Yeah, okay, as you do this, you hear 2 more windows smashing. So that's the second living room window and one of the dining room windows. The living room is now very dangerous to go in because even though you've put these barricades across, they don't quite cover the windows entirely, and you can, you hear like stuff trying to get through. And I'm actually going to make one more roll here to see if anything fun happens. Yay! That's a 7. Nothing fun happens. God damn it! The dice are ruining my day. Continue. All right. Yeah. I'm not going to make you roll anything with the barricade. You managed to successfully barricade the study, and now there is only one unbarricaded window in the entire house. Well, in the entire lower floor, which is the kitchen window.
And also the door out the back.
Yes. The door doesn't have a window in it, so don't worry.
No, that's good. I'd hate to try and barricade both the door and its window at the same time.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you guys want to do next? Because you are trapped in a house and being increasingly surrounded, and there doesn't seem to be anything else in this house you can use.
Okay. Cacao is going to maybe roll for investigation because he's trying to find if there is an item in this house that could make some noise. Because he just had an idea.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, roll me investigation then.
Investigation +2, yes.
That's a 21. Okay. Let me think. So,
should I give a suggestion?
Yeah, what do you have in mind?
Breaking a vase.
Yep, that would absolutely work. You're right. Yeah, there are decorations and like such around, and yet let's say you managed to find a porcelain vase on a like little end table halfway down the hall. So yeah, you could easily toss that, and it would make some fun noise.
Okay, so he's going to go upstairs and try to find one of the windows, and basically what he's trying to do is to throw the vase as far away from the house as he can.
Absolutely. I will give you a warning that the moment you open the curtains, it's going to be blinding light again.
Right.
That doesn't stop you from throwing, but...
Yeah, I'm going to try it anyway.
Absolutely.
Because I have dexterity bonuses. So.
Yeah, I'm going to say, actually, roll me strength, because you're not trying to, like, specifically aim at a certain thing, which would come under dex. You're just trying to get it really far away. So let's see how far you can throw.
Okay. Please, dear God, please, dear God.
That's a 5. Okay. Good news is, you do manage to throw it. Bad news is, as you are listening to it, you don't think you threw it very far. It probably lands out just on the pavement. This vase was heavier than you thought it was. But you do hear all the rattle clicking get louder after you hear the smash. You can't see it, but it does kind of seem like a handful of the strange plant creatures have moved just a little bit away from the house.
Well, that was that.
Can Colin helpfully find another vase to smash?
I will say there is one more vase in the house, and also like the bedside table lamps, and those are probably the only easily breakable things left.
I mean, it doesn't have to be breakable; just has to be noisy.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yep, you've got another vase then.
Colin like pitter-patters up with the lamp and hands it over to Cacao.
Do you want to take another go at that, Cacao?
Yeah, I was about to ask, because I'm not sure if Cacao has actually more strength than Colin.
Yeah, I think Colin's got the
Colin
biggest
has
strength
zero-
bonus.
Because, like, Colin just pulled out a floorboard, so he's going to say, why don't you try? And he's picking up, again, the bird and placing it in front of the window.
Okay. Colin, you once again cannot see as the green blinding light hits you.
Well, he's going to, as he does many things, he's going to recklessly throw the lamp out the window.
That's a 17. Yep, getting Colin to throw this thing was a good idea. As the lamp goes soaring, and no one can fucking see this because you're all blind, but the lamp goes soaring through the air and clashes down all the way on the other side of the street, because that was a pretty astounding throw. And you can hear the glass bulb inside shatter, and then the metal of the lamp clunk, 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 clunk. And you can hear, again, the clicking noises seem to pick up from the plants below, and you can now hear that scraping noise as a bunch of them are moving away from the house. Bubba, are you still downstairs?
Bubba's currently in the kitchen trying to figure out how he's going to barricade the door and the window. His
Fair
plan
enough.
to revolve something around the lines of tearing off a cupboard door and putting that over the window at the moment.
Fair enough. You can actually, I will say, manage to notice out of the corner of your eye, you can look through the doorway through the kitchen into the dining room, and you can see some of the shadows in front of the windows, heading off. It's no longer looking quite so crowded out there.
Oh, that's good.
Colin just whispers yay! It's celebration.
And Cacao is going to pat his head.
Aww.
Alright, what do you guys want to do next?
I guess the investigation continues.
Bubba's gonna...
At least Colin's gonna keep on investigating. He's an investigator. That's what he does.
Bubba's gonna put this cabinet door on the window now.
Yeah, absolutely. Colin, what are you investigating? Because you need to give me something specific that you're either looking for or looking at.
I guess a good start might be looking for the heavy object that was apparently misplaced from under the bed.
Okay.
'Cause that might be a good starting point. Because everything else in this house was perfect until we tore it apart.
Yeah. Give me investigation roll. And I'm not going to make it a very high one because I want to give you this information, but I've got to, make sure you don't absolutely whiff it.
Okay. That is a...
It's still a 17. All right. With that, I'm going to give you the information that you have scoured this house from top to bottom. You've checked any of the, every single one of the rather odd, rather sparse hiding spots that this pristine place has. And you know that this box isn't there. This box definitely isn't in this house. But again, you do get that strange feeling of when you check under the bed at those scrapes another time, the feeling that there should be something there. There isn't, but there should be something there, but not here, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Can I actually, I'll tell you what, do you have Arcana at all?
No.
I do.
Yeah, do you want to maybe point this out to someone that understands magic a bit? Because I might be able to give you more information if someone that does magic has a look at this.
I don't have I don't have straight up spells.
No, I meant someone who understands magic. So someone who has any sort of bonus to Arcana.
Colin has -3 Arcana, so
I have +2.
I got 0.
All right. Colin,
Okay, well,
yeah. So, roll me Arcana then, Cacao. Let's see what you managed to find when you're having a look at these scrapes as well.
we're okay. D12.
All right. A 12 isn't bad. It is difficult for you to tell, just because you haven't quite encountered anything like this. But you can kind of tell the space that you're looking at here seems to be linked with the space of somewhere else as well, possibly multiple somewhere else's. You can't really tell more than that, though.
Okay, then Cacao is going to head out from under the bed because I presume that he just like looked under the bed to look for it, and he's just going to turn to Colin and say, "Okay, there is something fishy about this. There's definitely something that should be here, but isn't here. But there is just more to it than somebody pranking it and hiding it someplace."
I have an idea that no one is going to like.
Oh dear.
The idea is, what if we checked one of the other houses?
Do you think we could even make it? I mean, we got the back door if we need it.
Yeah, Cacao is going. I mean, Cacao does reckon that he kind of started to have the same idea, especially after looking under the bed. But he also reckoned that those plants are still out there, and this bird is very small, and he wants to protect him at all costs.
Oh,
I love that everyone's
So he's
trying to
going to
protect
say-
Colin. You go.
So yeah, he's going to join Bubba, who is still under in the kitchen, and going to say, "Okay, so the box that should be up there isn't there, but it's not just not there, it's somewhere else, or maybe, I don't know, but something is up, and we might, our little friend suggests to visit another house. What's your idea?"
I suppose my idea was just gonna be to board up the house and hope for the best, but as far as I can tell, he's been on this crazy train longer than I have, so we might actually want to listen to him.
I love the idea of staying in this house, but unfortunately, if we have no water in the tap, things are going to be dire very soon.
I'd also like to get back to my son someday.
Colin is going to march down. Okay, maybe not march at this point, considering the whole thing with the noise. So he's gonna, walk down. I mean, he's very light. It's not like he makes a lot of noise. Anyway, the point is, he gets downstairs.
I don't know. I've known some very short people who make a lot of noise to compensate for the fact that they're
True.
short. So
Okay, but he's also very light because hollow bones.
true.
Anyway, point is, Colin has an idea, and what if I have a crossbow, I have rope. What if I get on the second floor and make a zip line?
You could. I certainly would not
Cacao-
stop you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Bubba's gonna look at the little bird. Bubba's gonna look at the cat, who is also smaller than him, and kind of nod his head like, okay, maybe. And then he's gonna look at himself. 7'4", very heavy built, mostly muscle, but still. I'm not sure if that's gonna work, little man.
What if I made a distraction?
What do you mean exactly by distraction? Please do not be the distraction.
I'm gonna be the distraction.
Oh God,
Alright,
no.
let's not. Let's not do that.
So at this point, Cacao is too concerned for the bird, and he's going to pick him up in case the bird tries to dash away
Oh God.
to
Alright.
be the distraction.
I need to duck away for like 30 seconds. You guys keep talking, figure out what your plan is, do as much roleplay as you like. This is a fucking delight. I am having a great time. I will be right back.
Alright. Now, if we're going around in a circle, Bubba has an idea that he'd like to suggest that no one's gonna like.
What is
I
the
mean, at this
idea that
point,
you're gonna
go
suggest
ahead.
that no one's gonna like?
So we know the water ain't running, but maybe the pipes are still there. If I get a good grip, maybe I can rip the toilet up and we can escape into the sewers.
I mean, if we could get through all the three of us, sure. It's not going to be the most.
Are there sewers though? Are
I-
there
Uh,
sewers?
I mean, there's an easy enough way to check. If we just put our ears up to the pipes and give them a bit of a knock, and we can see how hollow it seems.
I would. As much as I love your idea, dear friend, I'm not sure making noise right now is the best plan of action. Then again, should we either bang the pipes or just rip out an entire toilet?
I mean, if they try to follow us, most sewers got manhole covers and such. I doubt they'd be able to follow us much down there.
That is a good point. And the three of us could get through, because I would feel very bad leaving any of us behind in this place, because as much as
How
it's
do we
boarded
get
up,
back up?
Well,
Yeah.
we'd have to find a manhole with a ladder going back up. Probably.
I don't remember seeing any manholes.
To be fair, I ain't seen much of anything out there.
Don't even ask me. So we have the option of ziplining across the next house, having this little fella, and Cacao is still holding the bird, because again, this cat is very concerned about his safety, and he's actually like holding him a bit at a distance and saying, this fella wants to be a distraction, and then last option is ripping out the toilet and going through the sewer.
Is that the plan that you've landed on? Either distraction, like feed Colin to the plants, or go through the sewer.
Yes, that
Colin's
is
not
the
going to
idea
be
that
fed to
Bubba
any
came from.
plants.
Bub was very certain of his plan. One of the guys he knows used it to get out of prison once.
I would like to remind you that the water did not work, so do keep that in mind for any plans that you've
Yeah.
got.
Colin
Well, I
did
mean, that
say
makes the
there's
sewers
no guarantee
easier.
that there's sewers.
Well, yeah, there's that.
I mean, I'm not going to stop you from trying.
Question: are the toilets on the ground floor or on the first floor? Because that's an important information.
There's actually only one bathroom, and it's on the upstairs floor.
Okay, so the bathroom is on the upstairs. So if we make some noise, maybe we can pull it out without dying instantly. So we have to get
Perhaps.
upstairs anyway for the zip lining or the bathroom. So he's going to head upstairs with the bird still under his arm. Because again, the last thing he wants is really to have this bird be the distraction.
Bubba's gonna head for the bathroom to check to see if the pipes are actually hollow and go anywhere before he starts ripping things apart.
Yeah, sure thing. How are you gonna have a look at the pipes? Because there's a toilet in here, but is kind of well and truly attached to the floor.
Well, there's a sink too, right?
Yeah.
And it's got pipes under the cabinet there or whatnot.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Roll me investigation then.
All right. Gotta find out if the pipes are hollow. I got a +0 to investigation. This can only go well.
That's okay. Colin's got a +0 to investigation.
Yeah.
He keeps rolling ridiculous.
It
That's
can
a
only
3.
go well.
Okay, you look at these pipes, you stare at the pipes, you spend like a good several minutes just kind of going, admiring the shape of these pipes, and you have no pecking clue whether they're hollow or not because you can't see through pipes.
Can I try to put my ear up to them and give them a little flick to see if they sound hollow and like they go anywhere?
Oh, doing that, I will let you roll investigation a second time.
Okay.
Yes.
Whoop. That's not the right button. A little better.
It's a little better. I'm gonna say you're not sure either way. They could be, because when you kind of flick them, they do make an odd noise, but it's not a noise that you would initially associate with this thing being hollow, but it's not a dull thunk like it would be if you, like if it was solid. So it's one big fat you don't know.
How's your guys' plan going?
Okay, so what room upstairs would give us the best view of like the next house or so?
All right, there are, when you're saying, you've basically got a house to your left, and like you can see it from like both the master bedroom and like the little hallway next to the stairs. So you can see like that's the house that goes further up towards the end of the cul-de-sac, and then through the bathroom and the like secondary bedroom, you can see the house that was like further near the door that Bubba and Colin first came through.
Okay, so he's going to try to get Bubba out of the bathroom and inside the master bedroom. And okay, so apparently the toilet pipe plan isn't going that well. So next best bet is, I guess, the ziplining. And since we came from there, pointing in the direction of the door, then we might as well go there, pointing in the other direction toward the cul-de-sac, and he's going to finally let loose of the bird, because he's the one who had the idea.
Fair enough. I will give you the next house along, like the window that you can see there, looks to be like only 20 feet away. That's not very far.
Fine. Or alternatively, pull out another floorboard.
Make yourself a little bridge.
That would actually help our big fellow over here, so that might actually be the best option.
Yeah, make bridge, have zipline as backup in case bridge breaks.
Even better.
Fantastic. Okay, you're gonna have to build
Cacao,
a 20-foot bridge.
Yeah, Cacao does have rope.
Oh my gosh, how much is 20 feet?
20 feet's like around 6 meters.
Okay.
Cacao does have a crowbar, so he's going to pull out the crowbar, and I guess... I mean, it's in the equipment, but I'm thinking it still counts as hammer space.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, so roll a d10 just to see if you manage to get it out easily. Yep, you get your crowbar straight away.
So I get the crowbar, and I give it to this impressive bird, because so far, he's the one who pulled out the most floorboards.
Okay. Colin, if you want to rip up floorboards, give me strength with advantage. Let's see how many floorboards you get.
D20 plus 3.
Oh, good thing you've got advantage, because that 9 would not be enough. And that's a 21. Yeah, cool. Now that you have a crowbar, nothing can stop you. And you manage to rip up...
The crow with a crowbar.
Yeah. It's yours now. Question, what room are you ripping up the floorboards from?
Somewhere up on the top floor.
Yeah.
Maybe the the bedroom they're not planning on escaping from.
Okay, yeah, from the secondary bedroom, which yeah, you managed to just rip up all the floorboards from the floor. I would like to point out the floor no longer looks safe to walk on, especially for someone as heavy as maybe Bubba. But yeah, Colin, you've basically obliterated that bedroom. Congratulations. Okay, this is the point where I regret that it's not fucking Pathfinder, and I despair at the lack of different skill checks that there could potentially be, because there's not, like, engineering. Because what on earth, what skill would building a bridge come under?
Probably a craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have craft.
Survival, maybe?
Yeah, I was about to say
We are
that
trying to
survival
survive.
might be my best bet.
I'll tell you what. I will let it be basically any skill check you like, as long as you can come up with a good argument as to why it should be that skill.
Who here can argue that it's a performance check?
Given the feat that this bird has accomplished, this has been basically a performance. This cat is very impressed.
I don't know, sorry. I don't think performance would quite count. Okay. I'll tell you what. I need you to make 3 rolls. You're going to need to do an intelligence roll, a wisdom roll, and a dexterity roll here.
Is that each?
Just whoever's building the bridge, unless all 3 of you guys are doing it together.
So that was intelligence. What was
intelligence, wisdom, and dexterity?
Okay.
Basically, intelligence to kind of do the maths to see how, like, to logically know, okay, yes, this needs to connect to that. Wisdom to kind of go, if this connects to that, then, like, this should be able to hold up to this point before I'll need to do more. And then dexterity to see how well the actual construction goes according to the plans that you've already come up with, if that makes sense.
Who's building the bridge?
I mean, I got good dex, but not good int or wisdom.
You can, if you want, all 3 of you work together, and I will take the highest rolls of each thing.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, because I have like bonus in dexterity and intelligence. I have +0 in wisdom.
Yeah. Okay, everyone roll me intelligence then, please.
Okay, so intelligence.
That's a 9, a 2, and a 12. That's not encouraging. Okay, so we go 12 for intelligence. Everyone roll me wisdom.
Well, you see, Bubba ain't exactly in a profession where being smart does you much good.
That's a nat 20 for wisdom. Let's see if we can go even higher. That's a nat 1. and a 5 and a 6. Okay, thankfully, Cacao manages to stop Colin before Colin basically breaks the whole thing. Cacao, you definitely feel like you are kind of carrying the team when it comes to this particular bit. In fact, for the bridge in total. And now everyone give me dexterity, please.
Cacao is currently living to his title of mom friend.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a 21, a 9, and a 23. Okay, so good news is, dexterity-wise, especially with that nat 20, Cacao, again, you feel like you've been carrying the entire team. In fact, like, the only one point that you reckon people have been an active help here was Bubba was actually quite helpful with, putting bits together where you told them to. But, okay, you have...
Be, like, gently, like, picked up and, like, placed elsewhere.
Yep, pretty much. Poor Colin. Still, you provided the raw materials, so you definitely did a good job there.
He's helping. Alright,
you have made a reasonably sturdy-looking bridge. You don't reckon it's going to be fantastic, and it's probably good to be cautious with it, but you reckon it's really well made, if not necessarily fantastically designed. But, so it would work, and good news is it is long enough for you to be able to get it across from one house to the other, while still small enough that you could get it through the window.
Okay, and Colin is gonna do the backup zipline.
Good idea.
Because he really wants to do the zipline. So he's gonna tie a rope to a crossbow bolt, and he's gonna shoot it over to above the window, and I guess dexterity to see if he hits where he's aiming.
Yeah, and you're actually at disadvantage here because the moment you open those blinds, you're blinded.
Yep. So that is +4 dexterity.
That's a 22. Okay. Oh, let this luck hold up, please. It's an 8. You can hear the arrow thunk into the house opposite. That's literally all you know. The arrow hit, the arrow stuck, that's it.
Does does he at least can you at least figure out if it's like tug at the rope to see like which direction it's from? Like, is it up, lower?
With that, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm actually gonna quickly see where you hit on the wall. Okay, so you give it a tug. The arrow feels way too low. You're not quite sure where exactly it landed, but when you kind of give a tug on the rope, it definitely seems to be coming from down instead of straight across or up like you wanted it to.
No. Colin gives like a little defeated sigh, and honestly, like, yeah, like if it's like in there deep, he's not getting that rope back. So
No.
He's just gonna chuck it out the window.
Oh, there goes that rope.
No.
Okay, good thing you still have a bridge. Question. Because the window across from the house across you is still closed, do any of you want to try and break it before putting your bridge across?
Can I try just opening the window?
Oh, no, you can't. Well, you can't open the window from 20 feet away.
Yeah.
I see the problem.
Well,
And there's
Yes,
there's not
please.
enough of a window ledge to kind of perch the bridge across on it.
oh, okay,
See.
okay. Crossbow.
Yep, sure. Roll me dex with disadvantage to see if you manage to shoot out the window. This time, I will actually say I'm gonna make it not a massively high check because now you've got a better idea of what direction you're shooting in.
Mhm. Okay, that's not.
That's a crit fail. Okay,
Plus
no.
4.
And somehow it gets worse.
That's you shoot your crossbow. You have no fucking idea whether your arrow landed or even if it landed. As you shoot it, it's like twang, and you don't hear it land. There's just nothing. There's just fucking
It's-
nothing.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Do you or anyone else want to have another go?
I mean, the thing
I
is
know
that
the window is there.
yeah, the thing is that Cacao doesn't actually has like any range item, so
I'll let you
wouldn't-
throw like a fucking rock if any of you
Oh
guys
my
has a
God.
rock on you if you want.
I
Otherwise,
just a second. I just realized
Mhm.
that I've just been doing dexterity for the crossbow. Would I do an attack bonus for the crossbow?
I'm not. I'm kind of going with like just your aim, I suppose. Like,
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, just playing. Okay.
okay. Who's going next?
the thing is that I'm looking at the item that I have in my hammer space, and I don't really have like anything. I mean, I have a hammer, but
Just toss the hammer. I'm not going to stop you.
I could, but the thing is that Cacao is also going to point out that breaking the window is definitely going to attract those plant things to the next house.
Unless I make a lot of noise.
No, no.
I will point out
On the other side of the house.
you already have actually attracted a fair bit of noise just from all the hammering of building the
Yeah.
bridge. Good news is that they haven't managed to get in because of all the barricades that you put up over all the windows. But like you've got most of the plants do seem to be surrounding you, and that rattling noise is very loud at the moment.
I'm going to try something that might go south, but at this point, okay, I'm going to pull out. Do we have anything that could light up a fire? Because I have torches.
Yeah, I think Cranky has a tinderbox.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah, I do
Colin.
actually have it in the box, so I'm going to try to reach for it in my hammer space. Yes. So I pull out one torch and the tinderbox, and I'm going to light fire to this torch and toss it not on the side where we are building the bridge, but on another side of the house, just to see what happens to the plants if, you know, a lit torch fall on them.
Fair enough. Okay, you drop this torch right above a large spot of plants that you again, as soon as you open the curtains, you can't see a thing, but you can hear from the rattle clicking that there's quite a large blob of them down there. And as you drop the torch, The clicking goes from to and it sounds almost panicked, and you can hear that dragging movement as like the dragging sound as these plants basically try to run away from where you just dropped the torch. They don't run very far. They only they get far enough away that they can't feel the heat of the fire anymore. But they definitely moved away from the torch.
Okay, he's going to turn back to the other two and say, "We have a mean of defense!"
Yay!
So, bridge, right. Bubba, do you have any option to break out this window at a distance?
Can I do crossbow again? Third time's the charm and all that?
Absolutely. I'm gonna say you're not actually at disadvantage this time because now you've had a couple of goes. You reckon you've got it this time.
Okay. So D20, 4, go, 15.
That's a 15. You hear smash as the window breaks, and yes, you now reckon you've got a clear path through. So,
Nice.
time to stick the bridge out there. Can I actually just get a quick strength check from, I reckon probably Bubba and Cacao, seeing as you're the two taller ones, as you are trying to get this bridge out across.
Strength is apparently not a problem for Colin, but height is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Check.
This is not going to be very difficult. I just need to make sure you're not going to go, dropping the bridge. It's a 17. Okay, Bubba's got this.
I got this.
I have the pressure now. I have a +1, that's the thing.
I once helped one of my buddies with a heist.
Okay.
That's also a 17. Getting this bridge out is easy. Although you guys need to keep your eyes closed, it's not too hard to just angle the bridge forwards because you know that the window is directly across from you. And yeah, you can easily feel this bridge as it goes into the space over in the next building. I do. Can I get a quick perception check from everyone, please?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a 12 from Colin, a 22 from Bubba, and a 9 from Cacao. All right, Cacao, you don't really notice anything amiss. You just know the bridge is now across. Fuck yeah. Colin, you thought you heard something from coming somewhere else in the house. You're not really sure where. You were more occupied with making sure that you aimed your arrow right. Bubba, however, you noticed that when you heard that window smashing before, it wasn't just coming from the window in the next building. You thought you heard a window smashing in the other bedroom, the one that you're not in. You're fairly sure you heard the window smashing there, and also something going thunk at around the same time as you were pushing that bridge across.
Bubba's gonna play it off for a moment, just kind of adjust the bridge, make sure it's sitting right for a moment, and then just be like, all right, you two, go on and get yourselves across. He's gonna take off his nice suit jacket, hand it to Colin. Here, you hold on to this for me, will you?
He's just drowning in it.
Oh.
Bubba's gonna roll up his sleeves. He's gonna adjust his suspenders, loosen his tie a little, and be like, I'll be right after you guys. You just go first.
Yeah, Cacao is going to be like, why did you say you two?
Gonna just kind of stand there, crack his knuckles, and watch the door while waiting for them to get out of here.
Oh, okay. Who's going first?
Probably Colin, since he's the lightest.
Probably a good idea. Can I please roll me a dexterity? Yeah, just roll me dexterity to make sure that you managed to get across this narrow bridge without falling, basically.
Oh no.
That's a 6. Colin, you get...
Wait. Can what if I made it acrobatics? With a +7.
As you are not doing cartwheels over this bridge. No.
Okay.
See, that was your first mistake.
Okay.
Good news is I'm not going to make you fall. You got just high enough that wasn't an absolutely terrible fail. You rolled a 2. It wasn't a crit fail. I'm not making you fall into the massive plants beneath you. You do, however, get about halfway across the bridge before, again, with the sun blinding you and this oppressive heat beating you down.
And also drowning in jackets.
Absolutely. Your foot just slips off the edge. And you do fall, but you catch yourself. I'm gonna say, Bubba, sorry, your jacket has gone, unless you feel like rescuing it from the plants. That's just gone.
I wasn't looking, I don't know yet.
Okay. But yeah, Colin, you are now hanging from like the tips of your fingers halfway across the bridge.
Okay, Cacao is going to make a beeline to save that bird.
Cacao, you didn't see this, as again, at the moment you look outside, you can't see shit. All you kind of hear is the whole footstep, slip, and that's all you hear.
The yelp is enough to be like, uh-oh.
Colin, are you okay?
Nope. Slipping.
Okay, so yeah, Cacao is definitely going on the bridge to try to give a hand for that poor little fella, because the last thing he wants is to see him fall in between the plants.
Yeah, okay, Cacao.
Make sure he doesn't, step on his fingers or something, because, blind.
Cacao, please roll me dex and hope that it's high.
I mean, I have a +3, so thankfully it should.
Colin has a +4.
Okay.
Because I didn't.
Okay, no, that's a 16. So...
That's a 16. That's enough. Yep. You managed to. Obviously, you've got some cat instincts kicking in here, and you easily make a beeline across the bridge, even blinded. And you stop just into just in time for you to hear Colin squeaking. You know that Colin is right beneath you there, and you manage to kneel down. Are you going to pull him up straight away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think. He just save the bird.
Absolutely. Give me a strength saving throw to haul him back onto the bridge.
Ooh, yes, please. +4, please.
That's a 15. Yep, you managed to get on. It's a little bit tough. It's definitely not the easiest. This bird obviously weighs more than you were initially expecting. But Colin, congrats, you are safe on the bridge again. Are you okay now?
Yes.
All right, Colin, I'm gonna need you. You talk.
Just why, thank you. Sorry. Yes. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
again.
it's okay. I want. Give me all the good character interactions, please. But yeah, okay, Colin, I'm gonna need you to make me another dexterity roll to see if you can manage to get across the other half of the bridge.
D20 plus what? Is he has he been placed down, or is Cacao still holding him?
No.
I would place him down still, because the thing is that Cacao, as much as he wants to protect the bird, also reckon that this bridge is not okay.
Colin, you get about 4 steps before you slip and fall down the other side this time, again catching yourself.
Okay, after this one, if Cacao does manage to pull him out, he will not let go.
Yeah, Cacao, give me strength save again. I'm not going to make Cacao do any more dex checks, because I'm going to say from that 16 before, you can get across the bridge just fine. But it's just
and the 16 was actually, I forgot the modifier, but I have +3, so it would have been 19.
Yeah, that just fine.
Oh god!
Oh no! That's a nat fail. Bubba, I would just like to point out, you do hear footsteps and footsteps, yelp, running footsteps. Ah, yes, thank you. Step, yelp again as this is going on. But yeah, with that fail, cool.
What have I done?
Cacao, you go to help Colin again, and you don't know if it was you strained your muscles before, or you just can't get a good enough grip, or maybe Colin isn't really helping this time as he's panicking more after falling for a second time. But Colin just falls out of your grasp. You go to hold him up, and you can't. Colin slips right out. And, Colin, can you... sorry, what were you saying?
Maybe he slips out of his coat.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Yes! Perfect!
Oh, no.
Cacao, yeah, you grab onto Colin's coat ready to haul him up, and Colin, you get it, Colin, just far enough that his hands come off the planks, and then his arms go up and just shwoop, and Colin, you fall, and I'm gonna need you to take only 1 damage, thankfully. The good news is, as you were about 3/4 of the way across the bridge, you do manage to get out of like the garden of the first house that you guys were in, meaning that when you land in the garden of the next house over, there aren't any weird plant creatures. You can hear them right next to you. You've landed in the bushes right next to the fence, and you can hear the whole right next to your ear, but thankfully there's the fence in the way. You are safe. You are still blind, and you're not quite sure what happened.
Okay, since Cacao has no way of knowing this because, like, again, blind, he has, like, this look where the pupil go, like, so small because he's utterly devastated by what happened. And in hope that Colin is still alive, he will just shout, "Just remember the torches to fend them off!"
1 sec, I've just got to see if the fucking plants come at you for that. They do. Okay. Cacao, you have this. The good news is you're still up in the air. The plants can't quite get you because you are high enough. However, you start hearing those little whip cracks of the tendrils lashing out, and you can kind of tell they are right beneath your feet. They don't quite reach the bridge, but you have the attention of the plants, and they know that you are above them.
Oh no, is Colin's right underneath him?
Did Bubba just hear?
Yeah, Bubba, you've heard all of this.
So Bubba hearing what sounds like someone yelling to someone else because something bad has happened, and seeing as what he assumed was going to be a quick brawl in the bedroom has not gotten to him yet, he's going to do something drastic real fast.
Oh God, what are you going to do?
Bubba's going to pull his hat down to shade his eyes a bit just to make this a little easier on himself. And he's going to jump out the window and try... Well, he's a monk, so he has slow fall, so he probably won't take any damage. But he's going to try and go after Colin.
You do realize that by jumping out of the window, you are jumping right into the middle of a pack of the plants, right?
I mean, he's a big guy. He can probably clear a good distance with a good leap.
Okay, alright, in that case, roll me athletics here, just to kind of see how big a jump you've got.
I can do that.
Basically gonna just, oof. This is
Okay,
cool. You jump about a grand total of 5 feet, meaning that not only do you land, like, right next to the house in the middle of a pack of plants, you land right in the fucking center of this big pack of plants. Again.
Well.
Cool.
Can I just keep going? Just land on my feet and run.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to go away for a few moments.
Yeah, no problem. We'll focus on Bubba for now. So, cool. I'm gonna need you to roll strength saving throw, because if you're gonna run, you're gonna need to barge through these things. You are also not aware that there is a fence about another 5 feet in front of you. You just know you are surrounded by these clicking and rattling plants, and you probably landed on top of one, to be quite honest.
Don't land on top
Fair
of
enough.
Colin. He is small and fragile.
It's okay, Colin, you're on the other side of the fence. You're safe for now.
There's a save. Can I?
That's a crit fail. Oh God. You go.
Can I just say that I'm just a little rusty? Can I get a re-roll on that?
No, accept your failure. No. Okay,
Alright.
don't worry. I'm not going to insta-kill you. I would not do that. And there are reasons why the train can't actually kill anyone that I can't say yet.
That's fair. I mean, hey, Bubba would look good with a few good scars. We'll see what happens.
You're definitely going to wind up with that, because with that crit fail, as you get back to your feet and you try and barge through these plants, these things are bigger and heavier than you thought. Like, they're just as tall as you. And with the sound of you landing and crushing one of their friends, they're not happy about that at the moment, and they turn their attention from Cacao up on the bridge to you. And they're gonna attack. I'm not gonna do initiative for now, just because unless everyone's involved, it's gonna take forever. But they are gonna attack, and about 3 of them are going to immediately lash out their tendrils at you, and that's a +5, isn't it? It's 1.
I assume that's a melee attack, technically.
Yes, it is.
Alright.
And that's 1, 2, and D8 +5. Do any of those hit?
So that's a 13, a 7, and a 21?
Yep.
The 13 and the 7 do not, the 21 does.
Alright, with that 21, I'm gonna need you to quickly make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Well, that's not what I'm best at, but it's not bad. Hey.
That's a 21. Okay, so good news is you will take slightly less damage. Alright, let me, 1d... 6 plus actually you're gonna take, I probably should have done those separately, but you take 5 plus you take 10 damage, please. So you'd actually take 5. You took 5 slashing damage and 5 poison damage as this tendril.
What am I coming back to?
Yeah, no.
I'm at 33.
Yeah, so Bubba just got smacked by a plant and has taken 10 damage. I should have rolled those separately, so I didn't have to do quite so much math, but oh well.
It's alright.
And yeah, you're still in the middle of a bunch of plants. I'm gonna quickly go, Cacao and Colin, do you want to do anything here? I'm going to say, you've both heard Bubba land in the middle of the plants, and you've heard the plants are now pretty angry.
Bubba probably landed, like, right across from Colin.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Colin is going to do something a rogue is supposed to do, and sneak out onto the street.
Mm-hmm.
Into the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I'm just gonna roll to see if he actually manages to sneak anywhere. So that would be...
Yeah, let's stealth.
+4 to stealth.
You do not sneak, and because that was a crit fail, what the fuck is the luck in this place?
Well, at least that was what he intended to do, which is create a distraction.
Yep. So you think you're being super duper sneaky. You think you're being uber sneaky. What is actually going on though is you've got that you as you are sneaking, a bunch of instruments are kind of just following along behind you, playing like a little sneaky tune, like dun 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 sort of thing as you're going along, and it's just kind of like as the camera zooms out, it's kind of shows that wait, the plants can hear this music too, and you are now out in the middle of the street, but you have just got a bunch of plants doing like the equivalent of watching you.
The ones around me, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, once he's in the middle of the street and he doesn't hear any plants going up to him, he's just gonna yell at the top of his little bird lungs.
Okay, Cacao has learned from his mistake because, again, like, he yelled out of panic, not because, again, like, this was not the best move. But now he try not to yell, but he's like he muffles a yell as he understands that what he has been trying to prevent all this time is currently happening, and he's not happy about it.
Colin is just like yelling in Grolix. He's like, "Get over here, you stinky weeds!"
Alright, right? You have the attention of the plants. The plants are definitely going to be coming towards you. Unless, Bubba, are you doing anything like making any movement or noise or anything like that as this is going on?
I mean, I'd like to check two things before I
Yes.
decide my next action. Firstly,
Oh no.
roughly how much damage would Bubba landing on a plant do since the one I'm standing on is dead?
Good fucking question. I'm not actually going to tell you. I'm just going to say you landed right in the center of this thing and it went splat. These things look to be reasonably hardy, and what you can kind of tell from the others, they would take definitely more than one hit to go down, but because you landed right in the center of this, maybe perhaps there was a critical spot that got obliterated. You are kind of sitting in a bunch of its sap, but thanks to your clothing, it doesn't get on your skin.
I'm gonna have to get new shoes.
Yeah.
And the second thing I wanted to know was if I can determine how many of them there are around me. Probably not by sight, but just based on the number of clickings, I suppose.
Yep. Okay, there are 4 around you at the moment. You can tell that there are others nearby. There's too much clicking for you to be able to get an exact number unless you want to roll me an investigation. Actually, no, a perception check to see how good your hearing is to tell how many there are.
I might as well do that real quick. No
Yeah.
reason not to, really.
Cool, that's
Hey.
a 21. You can hear, like, obviously, your hearing is absolutely spot on. You can hear there are, at least 9 on this side of the house. You can hear more clicking in the distance, so there's more kind of coming, but minus the one that you've already squished, there are 4 surrounding you and another 5 rather close. You can hear some of them are starting to move away towards Colin, and the rest will likely follow if you don't make any movement or noise.
I got a lot of different ideas. Because on one hand, well, okay, there's what I, the player, would consider a reasonable and thoughtful and good idea of what to do, which is to stand here and wait for the plants to move away like a reasonable person.
Mm-hmm.
But Bubba
Yeah.
wants to protect the bird, and the bird just made themselves a target. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to spend a key point to do Step of the Wind, so I can disengage as a free action,
Yep.
or as a bonus action, so I don't get hit by moving past the plants.
A good
And
idea.
it also doubles my jump distance. And I'm gonna try and clear, the hedge, the fence, whatever happens to be in my way, and go get the bird and run.
Okay, now the thing is, like, there was, like, the fence with the hedge next to it. The downside is, Colin is no longer there. Colin is out on the street, so he's about 30 feet away from you at the moment. However, if you did jump over the fence, you could get to more or less temporary safety.
I mean, on one hand, I could get to the street by plowing through the plants around me and getting to the street, or I could jump the fence and go through a relatively empty side yard to get to the street, which was more my thinking.
Yeah, probably a good idea then. What does jumping count as? Jumping counts as like half your movement, doesn't it? I can't fucking remember.
I don't know. I think it's...
I'm gonna call you taking that jump as like that will use up like half your movement, considering how far and high you have to jump to get over the fence, and like the fact that you do have to get away from the plants. So you can run about 15 feet out, which isn't enough to get right into the middle of the street, but you're now around 10 feet away from Colin.
All right. Can I tell this? So is my eyes working well enough with my...
really loudly.
Colin's still shouting, so yes.
All right.
All
Well,
right. Yeah.
I got 40 feet of movement, so I'm getting as close as I can.
Oh wait, no. If you've got 40 feet of movement, yeah, I forgot. Monks can go zoomy. In that case, yeah, you can get right up to Colin and scoop him off if you want.
I'm just gonna scoop him up in my arms, hope he recognizes me based on that, because I'm not about to make any sound.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna do a quick little like shushing sound, and be like, "Colin, which way?"
Colin is going to point in a direction, but neither of them can see, so.
Yeah, what are you gonna kind of do about that? Are you gonna maybe left or right might be helpful? Or...
Okay, Nat. Okay. He's gonna. Considering if Bubba didn't like turn him around or anything, he's probably gonna like pat in the direction he came from.
All right, so back towards the house that the bridge was leading into.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with the minor amount of direction he's given, Bubba's gonna just go.
Cool. You get to the house.
Are you gonna just go, or are you gonna sneak?
Just going.
That's fair. Okay, so
Oh.
with that, like, the plants can hear your footsteps. Right now, they're busy investigating where Colin was just making all the noise from. And good news is, they're rather slow. You can pretty easily outrun these things, and so you leave the clicking behind you. But yeah, you manage to get to the house. You probably do run into the wall and maybe stumble over some of the stuff in the garden. You do not take any damage, thankfully, but it's not a graceful stop.
It's a bit awkward.
All right, you've reached the house. You can pat your way along the wall to the front door. However, when you try and open it, you find mysteriously that it seems to be kind of blocked off from the inside. Can I just quickly ask, Cacao, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Cacao is still on the bridge. His friend has fallen off, then started screaming. Then there is no screaming, so he's going through a lot right now. And again, realizing his mistake, he's trying to keep it quiet, but there is a lot going on in his mind. And he's, as much as he would want to go down and find out what happened to Colin, he figured that he might as well go in the house first and try to collect himself.
Okay, a good idea. We'll continue on with the 16. Actually, no. I think because you stopped for quite a while, and like you got a bit confused with everything that's going on. Please roll me another dex check just to see how you go walking across the rest of this bridge in your now very confused state.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 21. Yeah, no, you kind of just go like, no, I'm done with this. I'm out of it. Swarm across the rest of the bridge, dive through the window, and I'm going to continue with that dex check, like that dex, because it's so high. And as you get into the next room, and like you are still kind of dealing with the blindedness because it takes a second to wear off. However, there's that little bit of cat instinct in the back of your brain that says, be careful with the landing. So when you land, it's not like a sudden thump on the ground. It's more kind of, you do a roll and then you carefully land on your feet, very narrow, on a support beam across the floor. Because when you kind of feel out with your feet, half the floor seems to be missing in where you have landed.
Oh no. Oh. Okay, so Cacao obviously like catches himself from falling and just take a glance at the room before putting two and two together, and you can see that he has like the little light bulb on top of his head that like, okay, I see what this is about.
Yep. I'll give you from your passive. I'll give you like from your passive perception. As you look around, this room looks utterly identical to the room in the house that you were just in, like the secondary bedroom where Colin ripped up all the floorboards.
Yeah. So, he's going to try to go downstairs because, again, like, Colin was screaming and then he's not screaming, so he's still concerned about this. So he's going to go downstairs and try to pick out the windows to see if he can figure out anything.
Bit of bad news. When you head downstairs to peek out of the windows, you can't because there's, couches and tables and desks all blocking the windows. You notice that 3 of the windows are broken, as like the 2 from the very front. However, there doesn't seem to be any plants coming from outside. I will say, once you get downstairs, you hear a thump against the front door, as if someone's trying to open it.
Okay, then. Oh yeah, right. Considering that Cacao was the one who blocked the front door with the coffee table, he's going to move the table not too far off to just keep it in reaching distance, but move it out and open the front door to figure out carefully, because again, might as well be those plants, but he's going to carefully open, because again, where are the other 2?
Colin and Bubba, you hear the front door right in front of you open.
Gonna go ahead and stumble on in.
Cacao, you were knocked over by a crocodile with a bird under his arm.
A much larger crocodile than he is.
Yep.
I'm gonna carefully set the bird down and then immediately try to whip around and close the door.
Absolutely. Good news is it doesn't seem like the plants have actually caught up with you, but you guys are safely inside. And guess what? Good news, all the lower windows are already barricaded for you. Rather identically, in fact.
I was gonna look around and be like, hey, you work pretty quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and move the coffee table back in front of the door. Wait a second.
Colin is gonna not frantically, but anxiously whisper up at Bubba, I lost your coat.
You're gonna look down at Colin. He's gonna shrug and be like, I'll get another coat.
No.
Yeah, and at this point, I think that, given that, again, Colin is back, Cacao is, maybe not for this time picking it up, but he's going to, still ushering, but he's still going to be like, oh, you're alive, but I was really dead, and I was worried, and then you were screaming, and then you were not screaming, and I was like, what should I do? And so he's panicked, but relieved, but also panicked.
Oh, I love you 3. You're so cute. Yeah, Colin, do you respond to that? Do you do anything with the... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I zoned out. Yes. Colin's like, I'm okay. I was saving Bubba.
And then I think Cacao is going to look at Baba.
You certainly did, little man. Pat.
Yeah, I think that Cacao is going to look at Baba with this knowing look that, yeah, you were the one saving the bird more than the bird saving you.
To be fair, I think you were saving each other in the absolute clusterfuck that happened as you were trying to go between houses.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now that he has collected himself a bit, and he's going to settle and say, okay, so the good news, the rooms are barricaded. Bad news, the secondary bedroom has the plank ripped out, which makes me think that all those houses are carbon copies of themselves. So still no clue about those boxes on desk and scratches.
Yeah, did you guys want to have a look around the house and see what you can find?
Yes, Colin wants to, if Cacao says that it is indeed a carbon copy, he wants to check for the possibility of a box.
Absolutely. Roll me investigation. That's a 4. Okay. Does anyone else also want to go exploring the house?
Look,
might as well, He
almost just died, so...
Yep, that's a 7. I will say, Colin, with that 4, you do notice the scratches on the floor and on the desk in the study are still there. That's a 7 from fucking Bubba and a 6 from Cacao. Oh god. Okay. Okay.
Six.
We-
That's like
we've been-
6
look.
with bonus. That's the
Look,
thing.
we've been through a lot recently.
Yeah, you're
Cut
all
us some slack.
you're all too worn out from this. Okay. You do a look around. I can still give you a fair bit for this for free. You look around, you notice, yes, this house is fucking identical to the other house you've been through. You notice that in the master bedroom, there does seem to be a shadow behind the curtain of like the window that would face the next house along, but you don't take a closer look at it just yet. And you do notice that those same little scratches that you saw in the previous house are also still there, leading underneath the bed and on the desk. And that's all I can fucking give you. God. I love you. You're all terrible with these rolls.
Yeah, it's
Can
either
Colin-
extremely good or absolutely abysmal. There is
Yeah.
no in between.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go try to get under the house, I guess.
Meanwhile, Colin's gonna run over to the equivalent of the bedroom they made a bridge from. Well, I mean, they put anyway. So the intact bedroom,
The intact bedroom. So yeah, what are you looking for, or what are you doing?
a bridge. He wants
Bridge.
to see if the bridge is there.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, the bridge is there. You kind of like you know not to go just looking outside, of course, but as you kind of like reach up and pat, you can feel what seems like nailed together wooden planks that are resting on the open windowsill, and it does feel a lot like the bridge did in the other house.
Huh.
I mean, he like runs down. This time he knows not to make a lot of noise. But anyway, he like tells the others that.
Yeah, so you know there is a bridge leading on to the next house along.
So
Okay.
they can.
Cacao is just going to give one more look under the bed to see if, like, the boxes that should be there but isn't here, but should be here but isn't here. And again, like, there is something fishy with, like, the Arcana check earlier. So he still wants to make sure that maybe in this one there is something different, or maybe
Yeah.
not, but
Roll
still.
me either Arcana or Investigation again, and please roll higher so I can give you more information.
I mean, both have the same modifier, so it can't come out as either, because they are both intelligence.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Five.
for God's sake.
Okay. So I want to roll Arcana just for the heck of it because I know he's got a -3 on it.
Yeah,
but
do
I
it.
really-
Let's see if you can get
The-
better than 5.
Yeah, if you get...
That's a
You
0.
Bubba thinks this might be some strange magic nonsense. Let's see what he thinks.
It's a 2. Okay. Apparently, none of you know
Wow.
shit all about magic.
I have +2.
Okay, yeah, like the only one that actually manages to
Wait.
notice anything is gonna be Cacao, who notices that, yep, magic spell still seems to be there. Nope, the box isn't. God.
Wait. Colin, what if some of us were in one house and one of us was in the other?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. I'm
mean-
still a bit worried about getting to another house, given what we just went through. But that could be an interesting experiment, I guess.
Do you see any other options?
Bubba's gonna raise his hand.
Yes.
Yeah, Cacao is just like, fine. Well, be my guest.
Seeing as going
Colin's out
side,
the window.
seeing as going side to side ain't working. Perhaps we try my idea of going down. I mean, Colin already managed to rip up one of the floorboards on the bottom floor. We just rip up a few more and see if there's anything under the house.
I mean, my best guess is there would be ground, but given what this place has been like,
Can,
might as well.
I mean,
Hold
they
on.
can investigate the one floorboard Colin already took. down
Well,
there.
to be fair,
True.
yeah, you've got the one like in the dining room. You've got the floorboard that you ripped up there, so you could have a look at that if you wanted.
All right. I'm gonna go check that out real quick.
Cool. I'm not actually going to make you roll here because, goddamn it, I want to be able to give you some fucking information here.
All right.
Yeah, I will, however, roll me strength because, like, although Colin ripped up a floorboard, there is a little bit of like the house's foundations there, and like there's more wood and like some rock, like some rather large slabs of rock. I just want to see if you can manage to shift those out of the way.
Okay.
That's an 11. Okay, you have a hard time of it, so you're definitely at this for a while. It's definitely not quiet, so by the time you're finished, you can kind of see shadows behind the curtains of, okay, yeah, no, there's those weird clicking plants out there again. But yeah, you managed to rip up the lower, like, set of rock that is there, and as you do, you meet just a solid and seamless sheet of metal. There's just a layer of solid fucking metal beneath the house.
Huh. And I assume that this is fairly sturdy.
It's
Did you
incredibly
find the
sturdy.
sewers?
Sorry, what did you say, Cranky?
Sorry, I interrupted. Did you find the sewers? Okay, maybe. Yeah, no. Colin got excited, so he forgot to whisper. So that's my excuse.
I found a big old sheet of metal. I'm pretty sure it just kind of extends probably forever in every direction. I think going down ain't an answer to this problem.
Well, there's that.
It's a train.
I mean,
I'm believing
guess.
that more every time you say that.
Yeah, like
Okay.
at this point, Cacao is just ready to accept anything because this has been a day.
Colin's just.
So what do we do? Do we?
I want to try out the next house, but before we all go to, I want to go there first and see if anything weird happens if I mess around with stuff inside.
Well,
Like if I mess
Cacao is
around.
definitely going to have a concerned look and say, "Do you remember what happened last time you went first?"
yeah, well, I mean, the good news, the bridge is still there, so at least you don't need to remake that. But yeah, Colin, you don't have much luck with crossing it.
Okay.
Oh,
Bubba,
You could go first. Colin says at Cacao because yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Given that I'm the only one who actually managed to cross the bridge, I figured I might as well. So yeah, Cacao is
Yes.
going to try to go across the bridge, but again, given how things happened previously, he's going to go carefully, like not standing completely straight up, but like a bit hunched.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Alright,
Colin is gonna pitter-patter over to the room that's like where the bridge leads
Yeah, sure thing.
in the house he's currently in, and he wants to see if anything weird happens.
Alrighty. I will say, so I'm gonna roll me a dexterity with advantage, Cacao, to make sure that you get across the bridge safely. You get advantage because you are being purposely careful, and also you've done this before. So that's 17. Let's see if we can get even better. That's an 8. Alright, we'll stick with the 17. Yeah, so you definitely go a fair bit slower over this bridge than you did the previous one. You're not sure if that's just the dread of, like, having to cross this again, or the fact that you can hear, like, the sliding, dragging sounds of those plants coming closer beneath you. But you get across and you land in the other room, and I will say, Colin, as you are waiting in the secondary bedroom staring at the window that your previous bridge led into, you actually notice the curtains moving out of the way as if someone were walking through them, before letting them close again.
Ooh. Colin is gonna run over into the other bedroom and grab, I don't know, a piece of decor or something and bring it over to the dismantled bedroom.
Yeah, you managed to find an artificial pot plant. Do you just, like, carry it into that room or place it there, or yeah? All right.
He doesn't place it. He just carries it over and like waves it around like.
Cacao, you are presented with, just in front of you, a floating pot plant.
In another context, he would have been extremely startled, but given that he was the first one to enter the second house, and he got a bit of a hunch, at first he's definitely startled, but then he figured out, oh wait, that's maybe one of the two, and judging by the height, it's probably Colin. With the plant hovering a few feet above the ground instead of 7 feet. So yeah, he's reassured that Colin is still in the house and he's fine. And yeah, those houses copy themselves for some reason.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do about that?
Oh, wait, I know. I'm going to pull out of my hammer space the painter supplies.
Yeah, sure thing.
So, let me roll. Okay.
Yep, you managed to get him.
I'm going to write on the wall saying, Colin, I can see you. Just Colin, I can see you. Write this on a wall.
Cool. Yeah, Colin, you're still holding a plant. Nothing has really happened. It's just you're holding a plant in the bedroom.
Oh, so nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
No paint.
Nope.
Okay.
Bubba, can I ask what you're doing while this nonsense is going on?
Bubba made his way up to the bedroom. Not sure what to do with himself, so he's just gonna lay down, put his hat on the end of his snout, and have a quick snooze.
I mean, valid. After everything that you've been through, entirely valid.
Okay, since I think that Cacao would have picked up that Colin is still waving the plant around and not really changing his behavior, so he's going to maybe try to move another item in the room, or maybe no, actually take the potted plant himself and try to move it.
Yeah, Colin, you feel someone
hanging on to the plant.
Yeah. So, Cacao, there is definitely resistance when you try to grab the plant. Colin, it feels like someone's trying to take the plant out of your hand, but you can't see them.
As I said, Colin is hanging on to the plant.
Cacao, can I
just would Cacao lift him up?
Yeah.
I just want to see if he can lift him up.
Please roll me strength, Cacao.
Oh god.
I'm not going to make it a very high roll. I just want to see how this happens.
I mean, yeah. Again, last time this went terribly wrong.
Okay, so the good news is, nothing goes outright wrong here. You don't manage to pick the plant up completely, but Colin, you are kind of dragged up onto your very tippy toes.
Oh.
I'm also just going to say, I would like to, I'm having a delight with these absolute shenanigans going on. I would like to push everyone forwards a little bit, as we have been going for 2.5 hours, and Cranky needs to fucking well sleep.
Fair.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, Cacao, I think, would at this point go back to the curtain and start waving at the house he comes from, just to manifest his presence without being loud.
Okay, bad news is no one can fucking see you, because again, no one can look outside without being blinded. But I will say, Colin, you do see the curtains moving again, and it kind of looks like someone's standing behind them.
Well, what next?
You are about halfway along, from what you remember, you're about halfway along the street towards the end of the cul-de-sac. So, you've gotten half of the distance. However, you are once again surrounded by those clicking plants that are there to, eat you first chance they get.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want does anyone want to ask a free question to the DM? Does anyone want a piece of free DM advice?
You know what? Sure, because it is getting kind of late.
I mean, yeah. At this point, the only thing is that Cacao, like, he hasn't reunited with the others yet, but he's like, okay, those house copy themselves, and he still maybe like would like to check the one. I mean, he doesn't know. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't know about the one that is at the end of the street. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, he would go there. He would try to go there.
Yeah. Okay, I will say a couple of things. Again, you are currently halfway down where Cranky and Bubba are, the house that you're in, you are halfway. The one that Cacao is the house that Cacao is in is a little bit past the halfway mark. Cacao, you are in a house that is not surrounded by the freaky plant monsters. You can hear them all rattle clicking at the house opposite you, but you seem to be safe currently. Best advice is, again, this bridge is already pre-made for you. You can get from one house to the other reasonably easily at this point, and there's not really any direction to go other than forwards.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess that's. I mean, if anything, Colin might just go over to the next house, waking Bubba up, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving.
Please don't leave him
Alright.
behind.
Alright, yeah, if you're gonna cross over the bridge, roll me dexterity with advantage, seeing as I'm going to assume you're gonna be a bit more careful this time.
Just
Yeah.
Dex or the saving throw?
Let's go with saving throw, because if you've got extra bonuses, I would like you not to die, so.
Fair enough.
Alright, that's,
I don't have advantage because I haven't gone across these before.
yeah, true. So that's a 13 from Bubba. Bubba, you managed to get across safely. It's not a pleasant experience. You can feel the bridge like creaking beneath you, and you can feel it kind of bending in, but you do manage to get across safely.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm a dingus, and I've been using saving throws excessively by accident.
I'm fine. I'm cool with this. It means like you haven't died yet, so I'm not going to complain. But to try and make sure it's the right rolls from now on.
Yeah, no. I was like, wait a second. No wonder Colin. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, so dexterity +4.
That's an 18. Do you want to see if you can get even
that's
higher?
the actual thing, not saving. That's fine. Yes.
That's okay. Do you want? Yeah. Let's see if you can have even higher than that, and you can just zoom through. That's a 21. Yeah. No. Now that you've been over one of these bridges before, and you know what not to do, you get across easily. And Cacao, you are bowled over by a bird.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
So like Colin and Bubba are now in the same house as Cacao. All three of you are like in a house that is not surrounded by the plants. So yeah, you get across safely.
Okay, so Cacao, since again, like the way Cacao arrived didn't allow him to have like to be aware of the surroundings, so he's going to ask to Colin and Bubba. Okay, so we have a mean to go from one house to the other. Where to next? Cause I would really like if we wouldn't go on inside the same house forever and ever until God knows when.
Yeah,
Bubba shrugs.
Yeah, because Cacao isn't aware that there is an end to the street that you guys are on. He didn't get a chance to like see that, yes, this is a street with a definite end. Only Colin and Bubba are aware of that.
Well, it's not a forever street.
Oh well, that's a relief. So there's an end to this. Well, if there is an end point to this, we might as well press on forward, I suppose. Because, you know, those plants are way over there, and he's going to wave at the other house and say, so we might as well go over there and point in the other direction.
What if we got to the end of the street?
Well, there was the house at the end. Like, all the other houses along this street are in, like, they are in a perfect row down either side of the street. They're not so perfect houses anymore, considering the number of broken windows and, the furniture moved everywhere. But they are in these perfect rows. The only one that stood out was that house at the very end that was facing down the street instead of going along it.
Oh. Are we
Yes,
going towards or...
One sec,
away
Yeah.
from it?
give me like 2 seconds with MS Paint and I will draw you out a quick map of where you guys are in terms of like where everything is. So you've
Yeah,
got...
because as far as I understand, we are currently moving along from houses to houses toward the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Like, this is bringing back the MS Paint maps that I haven't done since like my very first D&D game on this server. It's not quite technically a cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sacs go out in a circle, but oh well. Thank you for being patient while I do this. If you guys want to do any character talking as you're going along, now is a good time.
Oh yeah, Cacao is definitely going to point to Colin. By the way, did you notice what I wrote? And he's going to point at the wall where he splattered the paint, trying to send a
You
message.
didn't write anything?
Oh, well,
Well,
then...
not there. Apparently you wrote something, but I didn't see it.
Well, then I guess then the things that repeat themselves in those houses are only the things in those houses. So that's good to know. But he is also going to comment on, oh, please excuse my handwriting. I was in a bit of a rush.
Okay. That was very shaky. I'm doing this with a touchpad. Please don't hate me for how horrendous it is. Alright, let's quickly just save that. Thank you for being patient while I do this. I really do appreciate it.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's what the street looks like. The house I just colored in green that's the house you guys are currently in. They've got the red door on the far right there, and then you've got the one house on the other end, and that's the only one that isn't in these nice neat rows.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Let's keep going.
let's keep going. To the house in the middle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you want to do a quick search of this house onwards? Did you, or did you just want to continue?
Colin's gonna do a quick search, cause
Might as well roll your investigate.
Yeah. That's a 21 from, I'm guessing that was perception?
yep.
All right, good news is, Colin, as you are going around and heading over to the bridge, you notice that, like, something in the master bedroom feels very slightly different. You take a quick look underneath the bed, and like, in the other houses you've been in, it was completely empty. Here, those scratches actually lead to something, and there is a metal box underneath the bed.
He's practically leapt under the bed.
Do you drag it out, or
Colin?
do you need someone else to drag you out with the box?
Yes.
I just see a pair of little bird legs sticking out front of the bed. I'm just like, all right, careful, careful. I gently grab the legs and I pull gently.
Colin holds on to the box.
All right, yeah, Colin comes out with the box. This is a pretty large box. It is around the same sort of size as Colin. But yeah, it's just a locked box. It's a locked metal box. That looks like it maybe could have been a toolbox at some point, but it's definitely been repurposed. As you come out with it, you make more little scrapes on the ground just under the bed to where it left to. So yeah, this is definitely the thing that left those marks there.
Colin is gonna test the lock on it, and He has thieves' tools.
It's a pretty flimsy lock, so yeah, roll me are you proficient in thieves tools?
Yes.
All right, yeah, roll me d20 plus your proficiency then.
D20 plus 3. I see.
I said this was.
Can I assist and give Colin advantage?
I
also have proficiency.
Yes, you can.
My hands are just too big. I learned how to use them back when I was smaller.
Oh. Okay, that's a 12. Good news is that's enough to pop this rather flimsy lock open. And yeah, as you open the box, the first thing you see is this thing that kind of looks like a paintball gun, except it's completely black other than this one chunk on top of it that seems to be like a pressurized container that's just painted bright red. As you kind of look at it, you notice that, this probably wouldn't shoot as a bullet or something, but it definitely shoots something. Does anyone want to have, oh god, what would you roll here to figure out what this is? I'm gonna say, roll me, either investigation or insight here to see if anyone can figure out what this device is.
I'll be rolling insight. I'm a bit better at that.
Yep.
Colin got proficient. Yeah, insight.
All right. So 13. All right, so we'll go with that 13. Colin, you can basically figure out what I just told you. However, Bubba, as you are looking at this, you know what that is. You're fairly sure that you've known someone that's worked with one of these before, and that is a flamethrower.
Hey, you might want to hand that off to someone else there, Colin. I knew a guy who had one of those. Wasn't necessarily mentally stable. It's a bit dangerous.
I will say.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you've got a flamethrower. Once you lift that out of the box, you notice there are a couple of other items, including 4 vials that look like potions of healing, and 3 things that you know those little black cartoon round bombs that's basically just a black circle with a bit of string coming out the top.
Cherry bombs.
Yes.
Yeah, then basically cherry bombs, and now you cross that with a snowball. They're this very, very pale color, white, very, very pale blue-white, and kind of crinkly around the outside as you pick them up and they feel cold.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 health potions and 3 of the weird ice bombs.
Well, Cacao is definitely going to pick one of the ice bombs, just because he's very intrigued by this, as he has never seen anything like this.
All right, who gets what? This is the point where you divvy up the loot.
Yeah. So we have 4 potions. So who wants to have 2?
Bubba will raise a hand. I mean, I've gotten hit a few times already.
Fair enough.
Very understandable. Here, have some. And so Cacao will hand the 2 potions to Bubba, and then 1 for Colin, and the last one for himself.
Colin grabs it and grabs an ice bomb.
All right. Who's going to take the flamethrower, by the way?
How big is the flamethrower? Because I'm imagining it's big as Colin.
Yeah, pretty. It's Colin could hold it by toon logic, but it would be rather unwieldy. It's definitely more sized for one of the other 2.
I mean, he picks it up.
Yep, you can have it if the others don't try and steal it from you.
Bubba's gonna gently pat Colin on the shoulder with a finger and be like, "Hey, give that to Cacao there."
Cacao didn't have. I mean, Cacao didn't plan on taking it, but having it rather than the poor bird who has fallen and then yelled at the plant seems like the better of the 2 options. So yeah, he's going to take it carefully. Because again, he's going to take it carefully and thanks the other two, but he's still a bit confused because he never handled a flamethrower before.
All
I
right.
mean, he's been the one who's been throwing torches at things. Well,
Yeah.
one torch, but
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
So you've all got one ice bomb each. Cacao's got the flamethrower, and you've Colin and Cacao have one health potion, and Bubba has 2. All right. So, did you want
I was
to?
going to go ahead and use one in the way that one would expect a crocodile to.
Yep, absolutely. Please. I'm guessing you just crunch the entire thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the entire health potion glass and all in mouth crunch. It's gone.
Amazing. I don't remember off the
Incredible
top
what
of my.
nature.
I think is it you heal 2d4 plus something health. One moment, I have this up. Give me 2 seconds for this thing to load in. You heal, yeah, it's 2d4 plus 2 health. So it won't be everything, but it will be at least something.
So 2d4 plus 4?
2d4 plus 2.
Ah. 2d4 plus 2.
So you heal 5 because you got an unfortunately low roll, but you feel a bit better at least.
It's fine.
Alrighty. Did you guys want to keep going across the bridges for now, or?
Yes. If
yeah,
there,
for now.
I mean, this scratch mark had a thing now. What about the study? Weren't it scratch marks?
Ooh, very
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, alright. If you guys go and look in the study, you will notice that, like, there is another small box down there. And you kind of look around this house and you see that, like, you know all those strange photos on the walls that you guys have seen in other ones? Like, they're photo frames. There wasn't actually anything inside them. You notice that in this house, like, all the glass in them is broken, as in completely shattered, and for whatever reason this hasn't actually carried across to the other houses. It seems like this is a place where, you know, someone actually was. As you head into the study though, yeah, you find another metal box. This one isn't locked, and inside it is basically just a bunch of photographs of a family. And it's, you see two happy smiling worn children, and there seems to be, yeah, sorry, I need some water. Give me a sec. It's a family with like 2 happy smiling children. They seem to be worn, and you're not quite, they're not human, but like they're not quite animals either. They seem to be a little bit like very vaguely dog-like, but not actually dogs. And you see like a happy smiling mother that is pregnant, and a happy smiling father who is so proud and like getting to hold his family there. And you look through the photographs and you just kind of see like these 4 people over and over again at different stages on their life. There are some baby photos of the 2 children, and there are like there's the mother before she became pregnant when she's looking younger. There's a couple even wedding photos, and it's just like photographs of someone's life that they've left here because they can't keep them anymore.
Okay, the first thing that Cacao is going to point out is that because he has this little art association, he's going to comment on how good the framing of the different picture is. But after that, he also is going to say, okay, now this is much more unnerving than those plants outside, because like those houses were the same. Why do this one has pictures, especially those pictures?
If someone lived here, are they still here?
As far as
Do
you've
we-
been able to tell, as you've been looking about this place, it's just as abandoned as, well, no, I say it's not just as abandoned as everywhere else, because I was saying everywhere else felt specifically not lived in. This one place feels like it has been lived in, but it's been abandoned, and for quite a long time by the looks of things.
Okay. Colin's just gonna like put his little bird hands on his bird hips, like, well, he doesn't know what to do about this.
Bubba's lost some thought about his own family.
Oh,
Yeah, Cacao will maybe, Okay, here is the thing. So Cacao is going to say that, okay, so those houses are meant to repeat themselves, but in this one we have different items. So question being, should we carry on this box, or are we going to find it in the next coming houses? What do you two think?
I mean, they weren't in the other houses, so maybe it's like you're painting?
That is a very interesting point. But where would those people be? Because the only thing that's been here is this hovering light and those god darn plants.
I can't answer for you guys here. This is just something like I can, from what you can tell, there was someone living in this house.
Yeah.
But like as you said, like in terms of why this box wasn't in the other houses, it's probably similar to why your paint wasn't in the other house.
Yeah.
Maybe we should keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's go to
because
the middle one.
yeah, let's go to the next one.
All right. I think at this point, I'm not actually going to make you roll any more dex checks to get over the bridge, because now that you've all had a go, you reckon you can get across reasonably safely. So yeah, you can make it over to the next house, and thankfully, because you were reasonably quiet in the previous house, the weird plants seem to have kind of scattered and got bored, and they're drifting away from like the house two previous now. So they're a bit more spread out, and they don't seem to be following you guys anymore.
Okay.
Do you want to just keep going?
Middle house.
Next house.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys, did you want to keep going across the bridge, or did you want to just walk down the street at this point?
Honestly, like, especially if we just
Fair
sneak.
enough.
Yeah.
Just why not?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's give it a shot.
All right.
Well,
yeah.
I was more than happy to not risk breaking the bridge with him on it.
Yep. All right. Everyone, give me stealth. That's a 23 from Colin. Fuck. A 21 from Bubba. And a 22 and a 22 from Cacao. This is where all the good rolls. Why did we do this from the
start?
This is where all the good rolls are. So as you guys are very carefully move the coffee table away from the door, and like you open it, and there's not even a creak as you open. And bit by bit, you will tippy-toe your way down to the end of the street. And like, thankfully, you've managed to orientate yourselves properly, so you know which direction you're headed in. And you can hear the clicking and rattling of the weird plant creatures as you go. However, they're far enough away that you can easily avoid them, even as they're kind of drifting about. And soon enough, you arrive at the house at the end, and this one you notice as you are reaching out towards it, the doorknob does not actually feel the same as it does for all of these other houses. I'm going to say to you, Bubba, you get there first. Just because you can move the fastest. And as you reach this doorknob, you notice that, oh, this feels identical to the doorknob in, like, the doors as you've been passing through carriages. This is familiar.
I'll try opening it.
You do, and you can't see it because, again, you're still blind, but this like bright red double door opens, and a much friendlier light comes spilling out from it rather than the uber bright green light that's been beating down on you this entire time. And if you walk through this now, you will head out to another carriage.
I'll I'll hold the door and look back for the other two.
Well,
Yeah. Again, like Cacao is completely new to the train, so he's going to go. Oh, this one's different now. So what's that all about?
Oh, is that the exit?
Seems like.
Oh yes, please. I would love an exit. I need to prepare the stuff for the students to the next art session tomorrow, and I need to get going.
That's a little optimistic of you. I hope you're right.
You just said that was an exit.
Not
the next
yeah,
carriage.
probably.
Oh.
Well.
Well, in any case,
I'll be
it was
seeing
a
you.
play. Well, I mean, we just have to cross and see whatever awaits us next place.
It was nice meeting you. I don't know if we'll see each other. I hope we do.
yeah, because
Would be
Colin,
nice.
Colin, you're the only one that's met any other passengers before, and when that happened and you went through the door, they were gone by the time you came out the other side.
Okay, so-
We're just gonna if you go into one of these doors with someone, they're gonna go somewhere else, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Well, with the door still propped open, Rizzo, without any prompt from anyone, without asking, he's gonna pick the other two up, put them under each arm, and be like, "I guess we'll find out." He's gonna go through the door.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. And with that,
Yes.
there is a flash of this warm orange light, and you pass through. And you are unfortunately sent off to completely different carriages, and you'll simply have to find out what happens next time. That was a great game.
Oh,
I love you
no.
all. I love all your characters.
Thank you. Thank you for running it. That was great.
Yes.
Oh, that was fantastic. Cranky, you need to go get
We
some...
have such good. Yes, I need to go get sleep, but
Sleep.
also I do just want to say that I just loved the interactions between Cacao and Bubba and Colin so much.
That was so good. I love that both Bubba and Cacao immediately looked at Colin and went, right, we need to protect you.
I just looked at the A's in the gallery. That's super cute.
Oh, I'm gonna read through the gallery later, but yeah, thank you so much for coming and playing this. Did you want to everyone say goodbye and I'll end the recording?
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.